So it is fun to finally get to have it in my home state.
And we hear the roar of the crowd as our first finalist makes its way to the starting platform. That's the Brussels Griffon named Falker. Myra Cohickson is the handler of this 9-year-old from Hillsboro, Oregon.
And he is the only AKC Agility Grand Champion in agility. Let's see if he can be the first Brussels to be a national champion.
It's an exciting course here in the finals, and we'll talk about it throughout the course of the day. One that's going to be both challenging but also built for speed, particularly over the final few obstacles towards the finish line.
And they've had a very solid start. The weave pulls could be a challenge for some dogs today, but they handled them very, very well. And now they're coming into one of the longest running stretches of this course. Let's come on out of the tunnel and up the dog walk, and they've got a nice straight run into that next tunnel once they come down the dog walk.
Falker is only 6 pounds, but Myra tells us he has a huge heart and loves nothing more than playing agility.
They've done a really great job working through his handling sequences up at the top of the course.
And through
what a
the
way to
tire
start.
jump to stop the clock at 56 seconds.
It started our first run with a clean round, so I think that bodes well for the rest of the day.
Absolutely. Sometimes when you're first out there, that's what you want to do, right? Put down a clean run, and even if it isn't likely to be the fastest, at least put up 100 points to let the rest of the dogs know, hey, you're going to have to be clean if you want my spot on the hot seat, as we welcome Winslow, a Cardigan Welsh Corgi, to the ring.
And Winslow, again, has had a good start, just like we saw from our prior dog. This sequence they're going through right now is going to be one of the tougher ones for the handlers to make sure they've communicated well with their dogs, and they did that lovely. Nice and smooth through that area, coming up and over the A-frame. This can be tough for some of our smaller dogs. He did not even hesitate. Right on through the tunnel. Tunnels are often a favorite of many dogs, so they don't tend to hesitate. And she'll pick up her dog here, and then they're coming into that final finish line, which again is going to be a pretty quick finish, which is what our judge designed for. Oh, unfortunately, saw the off course. And while they didn't complete the course correctly, to make it to the finals, that is a fabulous way to finish up your weekend.
There are plenty of spots out on this course where there are obstacles that could catch the dog's attention at the wrong time, and that, of course, puts the onus back on the handler. And Carrie, of course, sometimes it's just the shake of a hip. It's the direction the foot is pointed. It's a hand signal that's going to send a dog one way or the other, as we welcome to the ring Kono, a Pembroke Welsh Corgi.
And Kono unfortunately had a refusal at the wall jump, but she did take him back and do it, so they only have a 5-fault penalty, and they ate up a little time correcting it. But that's what you need to do. You want to make sure you complete all your obstacles so you get a score at the end. Placements go down to 8th place, so you don't want to leave without a score.
Glenda Ho tells us that Kono, 9 years old from Torrance, California, has a need for speed, but speed can be dangerous, and sometimes that can result in the off course.
Definitely, and we'll see that plenty of times, and especially on this course, because Judge Mark Giles has put in many speed elements.
Yeah. And it is a speedy line to the finish, going through the third and final tunnel, the 19th obstacle, and then the tire jump to stop the clock at 51 seconds. That's the fastest run we've seen from the 3 preferred dogs at 4 inches, but it did have its fault. So our first runner, Falker, the Brussels Griffon, still on the hot seat with just 2 dogs left at preferred, and that includes Kalani, the American Eskimo dog.
And Kalani's had a solid start. And that's what you're looking for as a handler. You want to get off the line, get a few obstacles in, and then the handler starts to settle down too. And we'll talk about it quite a few times, that this game is all about communication. And as you noted earlier, all it takes is a quick flick of a finger or anything, and the dog has taken that reading, whether that's what you meant or not. So the handlers have to stay very alert as they're doing this.
A clean run so far for the 13-year-old American Eskimo dog looking to become a champion. The time is going to be good enough, needs to be clean over the final obstacle, and Kalani onto the hot seat, 44 seconds.
What a great run. And this dog is also a breed champion. So besides being an agility champion, this dog is a breed champion. Definitely pretty is as pretty does.
Of the nearly 900 entrants this week, Papillon's among the most popular breed, 46, and that includes Kit Kat, the top qualifier at 4 inches preferred, needs to run clean and needs to get under 44.4 seconds for the title.
And Kit Kat and Lindsay are a very experienced team. Oh, unfortunately, an error at the weave poles. Again, that's an area the judge expected to be a challenge. It has what we call a recessed entry, meaning that it is pushed away from the way the dog is entering it. And you've got to be really alert to make sure that you and the dog understand what they're doing there. But this team is really lots of fun, and we'll see that as they're finishing up here. Lindsay will still keep running this like the champions that they are. And very nicely done.
The time was fast enough, 42.9 seconds. There was a second fault along the way for Kit Kat, so a score of 90. They will fall back to 5th place. The preferred champion at 4 inches, our American Eskimo dog. Congratulations to Kalani. Jennifer Krisman and Kalani taking their victory lap all the way here from Harpersville, Alabama. And Kalani at 13 years old is a champion.
What a way to start our day. And certainly doesn't look a day over, probably 2, honestly, watching them run. I would never have guessed that age if you hadn't told us. This dog worked extremely well and looked like it was ready to do the whole course all over again.
The bar is going up to 8 inches, our second group of preferred dogs in our national championship finals, coming up next on AKC TV. So our winner of 4 inches, the American Eskimo dog, Carrie. The bar now goes up to 8 inches. We have 7 dogs who have qualified through to the finals in preferred. The first is a Havanese. Walking to the start line, we have Link.
And their start has gone well, and that's, again, what you're hoping for. You want your dog's attention as you're leaving that line so that you're focused. And let's see how that serves them in the weave poles. Beautiful entry. Again, that was an area the judge thought could be a little difficult, and they handled it perfectly. Coming down the A-frame, the dog hit that yellow zone. They need at least 1 toenail in there. And now on through the dog walk and through this fast sequence as they move into the final section. The handler's got to have a lot of good communication. You'll see that they are serpentining through those jumps. And run right on into that
burst
finish.
Of speed to the finish line, 46.6 seconds for Link, the 11-year-old from Redmond, Washington.
And Link has already claimed the top of that podium.
That's right. And Carrie, it's nice to see so many competitors here from the West Coast getting an opportunity to compete in a location that isn't as far away as where typically we would have the finals.
It definitely is. Many handlers choose to drive with their dogs wherever they're going for large competition, so not having to drive all the way across the country is a huge win, just to start with.
Right. Another veteran dog taken off from the starting line. This is Dottie, 12 years old, a Danish-Swedish farm dog handled by Jennifer Gacci. They're from Westminster, Colorado.
And this is a very fun breed. They're extremely high energy, so if you're looking for a dog that wants to sit around and watch TV a lot, this would not be the dog. However, they're fabulous for sports like agility and fly ball. They're very athletic, as we can see, and this run is going very smoothly for them. coming on up to that dog walk. Let's see how they handle that. Well done through the bottom. And now into the sequence where they've got to stay connected. They can't let up on this course.
Almost went off course there, but Jennifer was able to save it, and it's going to be a clean run, 44.6, lowering the mark of Link by 2 seconds.
Had a couple of quick yells out there to make sure that she got Dottie's attention, and sometimes that's what it takes. And in an event like this particularly, they're outdoors, the dogs can't hear them as well between the crowd and, again, just not being indoors, which will contain the sound better.
Next up is Betts and handler Marco Giovanni, and these two have been champions at different events and made world teams and have been so strong for so long in the sport of agility. Betts 12 years old, but this is one hole on their resume.
Yes, it is, and this is Betts' last show. She'll be retiring after this, so let's keep our fingers crossed for this team. They've been working together for many years. Their communication is very strong, but Betts still sometimes has her own ideas out there.
9 years of agility between Marco and Bet, members of the AKC USA World Team 5 times.
And this run is right on target. This is what Marco is looking for. If he can hold up through this jump.
And they smash the
That's
time.
it. I'm so excited for this team. I've watched them for many, many years, and it's a thrill to see them up on the podium. Let's see if they can hold that spot.
Now, Carrie, the finalists run in reverse order, so the fastest qualifier will run last. But if you look at this time laid down by Bet of 35 seconds, keep in mind, they weren't the last qualifier, but they were the last one in. They got in through the challengers round.
That is correct, which is the wild card spot. So this dog is typically a very fast dog that comes in through that. So we'll see what happens with the rest of this. And our pug coming off the line here, unfortunately found the tunnel instead of the weave poles. This is a very fast dog. Again, this is a breed people don't think about as athletic, but you watch Reno out here and there is no doubt this dog is an athlete. The rest of this run is coming together well for them. Unfortunately, it's just those one oopsies that happen to you out there on occasion. But I will say most handlers, when they come off the line, will recognize all the things that went well out there. And in their case, they've made it to the final, so that is already a huge win for them.
And a scrappy finish there from the pug, who's from Southern California. Also competes in obedience, rally, set work, and fast cat. So it's the score of 100 at the time of 35.3 that leads for Bet. And now we've got Bullet, another Danish-Swedish farm dog.
Now this is a unique breed, so it's exciting to have two of them here in the finals. Let's see if they made it past that tunnel. It was a wide turn, but again, she was able to keep the dog's focus. They're also here from California, up in Northern California. And this course is going very smoothly for them. And we can hear our handler talking a lot to this dog out on the course. Everyone has their own style working with their dogs. Some are going to talk a lot to keep that communication link. Others are going to use all body language out with them.
Lose a little time there and then got the refusal. Little meandering there at the end and one around the final obstacle, obstacle number 20. So 2 faults, a score of 90. Bet leads the way with 2 finalists left to run at 8 inches. We'll finish with a Manchester Terrier, but next into the ring, Madeline, a 6-year-old poodle. Lucy Cornish and Madeline are from Lexington, Massachusetts. This is their 2nd time at Nationals.
And I'm impressed at how well the starts have been going because the handlers are leading out because of where they've got to get to with the dogs, meaning that they're leaving the dogs at jump number 1. Oh, the dog did find the tunnel. But with the lead outs, they're leaving the dogs at jump number 1 and they're going out past number 2 in many cases, or at number 2 to bring the dogs over. And that is a challenge within itself. Unfortunate about that tunnel because this rest of this run has gone very well. Did miss the down on the dog walk, according to the judge.
Now that tunnel is, and there's our 3rd fault, that tunnel is inconveniently near the start of the weave poles on purpose. Mark Giles, our judge, put it there knowing that it could be tempting for a lot of dogs, and we saw that with Madeline. So it comes down to this. Our top qualifier at 8 inches is Bricks, the Manchester Terrier, looking to knock off Bet and Marco, currently on the hot seat.
And this dog has been a national agility champion in the past. So let's see how Beth and Pri do out here. You could see that she really had to work a little bit to keep her attention with her. Beth did a lovely job with that. Coming down through this section, which is all speed through here. But you want to keep your connection here, otherwise your dog will, unfortunately, miss the bottom of the dog walk.
Missed that contact, and that means that Bet is going to be a national champion. The time was going to stand up anyways. They had to come from the challenger round, which meant there was a mistake in qualifying, but they got through in the wild card spot, and for the first time, Bet and Marco Giovanni are national champions.
I'm absolutely thrilled for this team. What a way to retire.
Yes, it is.
Going out as a national champion.
They made it through to the finals in 2021 going through the challenger round. Pulled that same trick here in the finals in their final try. And as you said it, a national championship for Bet and Marco. We're moving on to 12 inches when we come back to the 2026 AKC National Agility Championship on AKC TV.
We're talking about press.
We're talking about practice. We're talking about practice, and we're talking about practice.
Not the game we have played.
Not in the game. Not the game I have to go out there. We're talking about practice.
We've got two champions already in our 29th annual National Agility Championship. In Pervert, 4 inches and 8 inches. It was Kalani at 4 inches, and then Bet, our 8-inch champion of the Shetland Sheepdog. Next up, Carrie, on to 12 inches.
We've got a good variety of breeds in this too. We're starting with the Shetland Sheepdog.
So, Carrie, I just mentioned we had a Shetland Sheepdog winning at 8 inches, now one competing at 12 inches because you have bigger and smaller dogs of the same breed.
That is correct. It's based on the height of the dog at their withers, so we can have a variety of breeds spread out through various heights. Looks like our Sheltie found the tunnel. The handler got them back on course. So again, she wants to work to keep a score because we do have placements down to 8th place. And the judge has blown their whistle, meaning they did not complete an obstacle. So at this point, it is an elimination, but you know they've earned their run here at the finals. We're gonna let them finish. Put a nice exclamation point on the end of their weekend.
Chloe will take the final jump, a time of 53 seconds. Following up Chloe's run will be Dazzle, the 12-year-old Australian cattle dog from Norco, California.
Yeah, Dazzle's just down the road. Probably took them about 45 minutes to get here this morning. And this breed is a working breed. Now they tend to work well with their handlers, but again, they're a cattle dog, so sometimes they have their own ideas. And I always respect the handlers that work well with their cattle dogs. This is a very intelligent breed. But again, they can have their own ideas. But this run is going smoothly for them.
Perched on top of the A-frame for a moment will cost a second or two, but with a clean run, Dazzle will move on to the hot seat. We have 8 total dogs who qualified through to the finals at 12 inches.
Now they're coming into another handling section where their communication has to be on, and it certainly was. That very well done. Nice lines. Gave a little bit of glance at the tunnel, but didn't take it.
50.1 seconds and a clean run for Dazzle.
Dazzle be heading on up to the podium on the hot seat right now.
And next into the ring, an All-American dog. This is Phoebe, 10 years old from Utah. And right away, we saw a fault, and it takes just one mistake carry in the finals to dash any chance you might have of being at the top of the podium, but it's still possible to place.
Absolutely. And so as a handler, you want to keep running. You don't want to let up at that point. I mean, you can tell by watching this team running that Lisa's absolutely not letting up on the run here.
That's right.
Unfortunately, the dog and handler saw the jump on that one. Lisa's direction showed that off-course jump to her dog. But what a great team, and they had to be solid to make it into the finals, and this run certainly showed why they were here.
35.5 seconds. Lightning fast, but it's Dazzle remaining on the hot seat with that time of 50 seconds, so 15 seconds slower, but it was mistake-free. Phoebe, by the way, was our dog that came through the challenger round, explaining all of that speed. Meanwhile, this is Scarlatti, an Australian Shepherd.
Well, it looks like Scarlatti went over and touched the tunnel, so the judge did give her a wrong course fault for that.
Okay, thank you.
The dog doesn't have to go all the way in, but if a paw touches the tunnel, then the judge has to make the call. But again, we keep talking about those placements, so she's going to keep running. Everything else is working well on this course for them. Through this handling challenge here, make sure the handler doesn't go too far. Unfortunately, she lost her dog behind her. The dog saw the jump and took the wrong jump option.
A couple of faults there for the 13-year-old out of Colorado, competing at nationals for the 6th time. They've been on the podium 3 times before. We'll turn the page to Tucker, a Shetland sheepdog. We'll see if Tucker is able to knock Dazzle from the hot seat. Tucker and Melody Armstrong here from Boise, Idaho, attending nationals for the 4th time.
And she notes that Tucker's hearing is not as good as it used to be. So this handler will be using a lot of body language. She may still talk to her dog because that's out of habit, but Tucker's really looking to see what her body is telling her to do. So Melody's got to be very clear in what she's pointing out. So far, they have done well on this course. Everything's working together. And this is definitely where the teamwork shows when you have a dog in this situation. And you can see that Tucker definitely enjoys what he's doing out here.
Paused a little bit, descending down the dog walk, ate up a little bit of time. They've got to get under 50 seconds clean so far, but precious seconds ticking away, and they will not get under the time set by Dazzle. Wouldn't matter because we see another dog go off course wanting to take that panel jump.
And that's a difficult situation when you are working with a dog that needs to see what you are handling. The call is not going to bring the dog back. But again, it's just so exciting to make the finals. They've had a wonderful weekend here. And I'm sure it was worth the drive from Boise, Idaho for them.
3 dogs left to compete at 12 inches. This is our 2nd All-American dog in this class. This is Paige, 13 years old from Washington State, handled by Flora Steffen.
And Flora noted that this is her novice A dog. That means this is her first dog that she's ever trained in agility. And here they are in the finals, and this is their first time in the finals, but they are a 3-time agility grand champion. So a lot of great success this team has had.
Came off of the A-frame. So Carrie, once you put that first paw in the yellow contact zone, the mistake was then bouncing off.
That is correct. So the dog coming off then received a refusal fault for that.
Not taking any chances coming down the dog walk. Unfortunately, that penalty had already been incurred on the A-frame, so it's going to be a score 95 points if they're clean the rest of the way. Paige just wanted to make sure, and she's doing what Flora was asking.
Well, she noted that Paige is the dog of a lifetime.
Yeah.
So I know that no matter what happened out on that course, they're just thrilled to have gotten a chance to do it together. And again, to make it to the finals, it was a great weekend.
Down to our final two runners at 12 inches. D'Artagnan, a Pyrenean Shepherd, 11 years old, onto the course.
D'Artagnan has been a very strong competitor for many, many years. Unfortunately, he found the tunnel.
There are 3 tunnels on this course. The dogs are going to get their opportunity. They just got to be a little bit more patient.
Absolutely. Now, this dog also, besides doing agility, is a therapy dog and also is a dock diving dog. Oh, wanted to check out the plate out there also. You know, when you're 11 years old, you kind of get a little license to do what you'd like out here, I think. But again, this team has been a top team for many years, and he is still running very, very well.
All right, our top qualifier at 12 inches is Ren the Border Collie, handled by Rebecca King, 10 years old. They've competed at the highest level across multiple agility organizations, making their NAC debut and a chance to be a champion.
Unfortunately, they did knock down a jump that has been called, so that's a 5-fault penalty, and it won't put them on top of the podium, but again, they can still make a top placement. There's another bar down.
Came off of the dog walk prematurely.
Got another fault out there.
Wicked fast time that Ren is going to lay down, but Carrie, we talk about all the time, the premium you have to put on running clean. So to put that in perspective, the winning time ends up being 50 seconds because it was clean, even though Ren went 13 seconds faster. Few faults, however, for Ren, which means our winner is Dazzle, the Australian cattle dog, the second dog to run of 8. It was a long time on that hot seat. Nobody able to knock him off.
Absolutely not in this case. You know, the name of the game is do them all, do them correct, do them fast. And in this case, doing them all was certainly key. And they had a solid run. We talked about communication, and they had it all the way through. Congratulations to this team.
And we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we will have our 16 finalists at preferred, our 12 finalists at preferred 16 inches, each racing for a championship. Stay with us. And we are back at 16 inches. Our first dog to take the starting line is Hitch, a Pyrenean Shepherd, handled by Nancy Necker.
Their round is going well. Right on into those weave poles. Oh, and unfortunately, right on out of those weave poles.
So we'll have to reset and start the obstacle again in order to not be disqualified for the run.
That's correct. So the handler managed that well. Sometimes what happens there is the dog just gets distracted by something, or it wasn't clear to them that you really wanted them to do the weave pulls at that moment. So they're going to check back in. And off we go up the dog walk.
Hitch enjoys Frisbee and loves to chase his 6-year-old Icelandic sheepdog brother around the yard. His team's from California.
And Hitch and Nancy are coming into that handling section towards the closing that we've talked about a few times. That was very smoothly done. On to the finish, and he never even thought about that tunnel. Well done. Just that one little communication break up the weave poles.
A total of 16 dogs qualifying through to the finals at 12 inches. And of course, it's a formula carry that we've talked about before, why there's an imbalanced number as far as how many dogs are in the finals in each classification. So more entries at 16 inches means we're going to have more dogs in the finals.
That is correct. And now we've got our next team out there. And Dragon was looking good through the serpentine handling sequence up there. She made sure that she straightened him up to get him into the weave poles.
Picks up a little speed coming out of the weaves, handles the A-frame well.
On through the tunnel and right on up this dog walk. Remember, we've got to get that one toenail in the bottom, and you can see the handler making sure that happens. On through the tunnel, we've got another handling sequence they need to be careful on and keep connected, and that was very well done. Nice and tight line up there and a good turn.
So it's a clean run. That's a score of 100 points at a time of 50.2 seconds. Carry no surprise that 4 of the fastest 5 qualifiers at 16 inches are Border Collies. We'll also see a Border Collie next because this is our dog that came through the Challenger round, which means they had a mistake somewhere along the way over the course of 3 qualifying runs, but finished in the top 4 in one of those qualifying runs to get into Challenger, and then we're able to get the 1 wild card spot this morning.
That's correct. And so here is that team, and as you see them running, you can see why they wound up in that position.
Yes.
You know, fast is fun and fun is fast until the judge makes a call.
That's right.
But this run is going very smoothly for them. You can see this handler is working a little bit further away from her dog. And again, that's just based on how they work together and their communication as a team.
The run of the day so far, 32.4 seconds and clean.
And Ego is a prior preferred national agility champion, so could be adding to that count.
Well, that is the bar that the rest of the finalists will be chasing. 32.4 seconds and mistake-free. And everybody else, once you see that, you know there's no need to be conservative. I've got to go all out.
That's exactly it, and we'll see that happen as people have to push for time now. This opening's gone well.
Glaze, an Australian Shepherd, 9 years
There's
old.
that announcer curse. I shouldn't have said that yet. I got to stop saying that before they get past that tunnel. But she got them right into the weave poles, and they'll continue on through this course. So while being the champion is now off the plate, certainly a high placement is not for them. So the handler's going to keep working with the dog. And Susan and Glaze are looking solid through this section. And that's, of course, how they made it to the finals. They've worked together all weekend. And that was very, very nice. It's where you want to take back that one little piece on the course.
Right.
Let me redo that real quick.
We'll see our first English Springer Spaniel of the day. This is 9-year-old Dolce from Tucson, Arizona.
And Dolce's had a nice start, solid through that teeter. Now through the handling sequence that we had some concerns about. But this turn into the weave poles, there was no doubt. Dolce knew exactly where they needed to go.
Akitsu Kumoto, Dolce's handler, says that her novice A dog is not the fastest dog, but she is very consistent. And we see the consistency on display here.
Well, she's a talented dog. Besides doing agility, she's also is a scent work master and an obedience master. I suspect that's part of the reason their connection is so strong out here. And you could see where her handler used her hand in this case to get the dog's attention to pull her back to that tunnel, and that worked very well for them. So everyone's got their different way of connecting with their dog.
Our only All-American dog running at 16 inches to make the finals, and that's Jack, 10 years old from Bayfield, Colorado, running with Veronica Lassiter.
The handlers have really made the opening look very easy, and it's really not. There's a lot that happens there, so they've really got to start out as a team at the beginning. Beautiful weave pull entry, no hesitation there. Coming over the A-frame, got that yellow, on into the tunnel. And the handlers are going to push some on this dog walk, and that's why that down contact is going to be a bit of a challenge. And unfortunately, in that case, our dog has jumped over the bottom of the dog walk, the yellow zone.
Jack was adopted for just $10 from a rescue shelter. Now a trick dog expert, master barn hunter, confident agility partner, and finishes strong for Veronica.
And you can see Jack as he's leaving, he still wasn't quite done. He was still looking around going, can we go again?
That's right. We do have one golden retriever to make the finals at 16 inches. This is Quest, 11 years old from Iowa.
And Quest was ready to go off that start, really pushed off that start line. Nice, smooth lines through those top 3 obstacles. Barely missed that tunnel.
You'll get your chance, Quest.
It's a little heart-stopping as a handler when you're out there.
Now taking this obstacle for the second time, I'm sure you've noticed at home that obstacle is in play 3 times on this course. It's the 3rd jump, the 11th obstacle, and then the penultimate obstacle.
Let's see if they can keep a nice tight line through here, and they did, and that's going to really help them with their time. Nice smooth turn. Beautiful.
They'll move into second place.
It was very well run, and every place that she could have shaved off some time, she was able to find it with her dog.
Okay, now it's time for the run of Border Collies. We mentioned 4 of the 5 fastest qualifiers in this classification are Border Collies. This is the first one. This is Bryn, sitting on the hot seat. Ego, the Border Collie.
A little kiss on the head for
seconds.
Bryn before they take off. I think that's just what she needed to get started. This has gone well. Right on through that beautiful line. You can see that she's not taking extra arcs over her jumps. She's got a nice, smooth, tight line.
Joel Larner, Bryn's trainer, said that Bryn's favorite thing in life is playing ball, and the second favorite thing after ball is more and more ball.
I got bad news for her. We don't have any out here for her, but I bet he has one stashed for her
That's
as soon as
right.
she finishes this run.
20 seconds from now.
Again, so well handled in there. That got a little wide, but he was right there to direct her back. Beautiful.
41.5 seconds. But remember, the time they're all chasing was that outstanding run laid down by Ego and Sydney Ryan of 32.4 seconds. So they continue to reside on the hot seat. This is our final dog that's not a Border Collie. It's a Vizsla named Nolly.
And they're here from Northern California. And I'm sure they were excited just to have to drive down the state to come to the Nationals this year. This dog is also a breed champion. Vizslas are very, very athletic breed. They can do very well in agility with that athleticism.
Wow, what an outstanding entrance into the weave pulse.
Yeah, there was no doubt. She knew exactly where she needed to be. So she's got that dog walk.
Oh, missed that
Right
contact to
over it.
carry. I'm not sure Nolly put down a wrong foot anywhere on this course until that fault.
Absolutely not. Everything else had just been as perfect as you would have wanted it to be. But you can see her handler still smiling. Nolly's going to get her treats and her scratches. It was all a great weekend.
All right, now it is down to the Border Collies. We've got 3 Border Collies still to run, all chasing Ego, the Border Collie, on the hot seat. This is Harper, 11 years old, handled by Cassie Sauerman. They're from Midland, Michigan.
You can see Harper almost sliding over the teeter. She hit it so quickly. It's not unusual to see with the dog go very
took the
fast.
tunnel.
sometimes the tunnel call is stronger than the handler's call.
That's right. Well, Harper's going to get to do 4 tunnels on this course. The only problem is
And as
there's
far as
just 3
she's
out there.
concerned, that's a great day.
Yeah, that's right.
The dogs don't get to see this course first.
Right.
Very well handled through there.
Yeah. Oh, missed that obstacle. That's that jump we said they've got to take 3 times. Harper just wanted it twice.
She was making up for the extra tunnel. But again, you can see why this team made it into the finals.
All right, now our 2 swiftest qualifiers. Again, both will be Border Collies. First, we've got 9-year-old Nova with Chris Derby.
Coming into that sequence, nice flat lines over those jumps. Beautiful turn into the poles. Coming on up and over the A-frame. Let's see if she's got that yellow. She sure did. Through the tunnel, and they're gonna push this dog walk and hit it. That's exactly what he wanted her to do.
Now the speedy finish. No, they got a little bit ahead of themselves at obstacle 17. Have to get under 32.4 seconds, so they were pushing, missed the obstacle, picked up the fault, and now we're down to our final qualifier.
And we'll see the same thing out of our next team.
Yeah.
Rachel and Vex have to really push
Yeah.
if they want to be on that podium.
Yeah, that time of 32.4 seconds is lightning fast, so here we go. Vex and Rachel Evers looking for a title. They've got to be clean. They've got to get under 32.5.
And Vex was definitely ready on that start line to be
Flying
launched.
start. Literally launched off the start. A little confused getting into the weaves, and that might cost him a little bit of time.
This dog's got great ground speed, and so now she's just got to push even harder.
Yeah.
Rachel's got to find another gear out here to make up for that little bit of time there. She made sure she got that contact, though. Remember, they've got to be perfect. She's got to hit everything.
It's going to be close.
And
30
Rachel is
seconds. They
just
got to
like
get
all
under
she can.
32.4. No, 33.4. A clean run, but 1 second slower than Ego, the Border Collie, handled by Sydney Ryan. They came through the challenger round, and they are champions.
What an exciting finish to have. Rachel clapping for Sydney and Ryan on her way out. A lot of these dogs and handlers spend a lot of time competing against each other all year long. For many, though, coming to the Nationals is a chance to see handlers and dogs you've only ever heard of.
That's right.
So it's very exciting to get to see those teams that you kind of follow,
Yeah.
but you don't get to see every single weekend.
That is our 3rd dog in a row to win a national championship after surviving challengers earlier this morning. It was Bet at 8 inches, then Dazzle at 12, and now Ego at 16. We're going to take a quick timeout. When we come back, we'll have our final class at Preferred. We've got 6 dogs competing for the 20-inch title next on AKC TV. This is our highest jump group at Preferred. It's 20 inches. We have 6 dogs who have qualified through to the finals. The first is a German Shepherd dog, Carrie. This is Riggs, 6 years old, from Eagle River, Alaska, handled by Sarah Snap.
Unfortunately, Riggs decided not to do the teeter, which is unusual considering they've been doing it all weekend. But we never know what the dog is seeing or what they're feeling. It may have felt a little odd under his feet for some reason, but Sarah didn't even worry about it, as you saw. She's just like, that's okay,
That's
buddy.
right.
Let's keep going. We've had a great weekend. Let's just go out here and have a good rest of our time. They've traveled, as you noted, all the way from Alaska, so absolutely they should be out there doing every single obstacle.
That's right.
There he goes. Now he looks like he's on track, and they're on the same page. Beautiful. This is a nice way to finish this.
And the beauty of going first means no matter the score, no matter the time, you'll get at least one run on the hot seat.
And you'll notice that the handler has some treats, so Riggs still gets rewarded right away.
This is a poodle named Birdie, 7 years old. Ellen Hutchins, our handler.
This is a solid start. Nice flat line through that serpentine section at the top. Gave a good look at that tunnel, but she was able to come on back and get Birdie going.
This is Ellen's novice A dog. So Carrie, as you noted earlier, this is Ellen's first ever agility dog, and that just goes to show you if you're new to the sport or haven't started yet, you and your dog could end up competing at nationals someday.
We have a lot of novice A dogs in this group this year, and it's very exciting to see. So if you're sitting at home with your dog going, I know we can do that, we'll see you at the nationals in a couple of years.
That's right. 47 seconds. So we have a new leader.
Yeah, that was a nice clean run. They put down a good time.
Ellen's saying that her and Birdie can't thank their family enough for making the long trip all the way from Arkansas to California to be here today. This is Midnight, an 11-year-old border collie from San Jose.
And they came out of our challengers round. Alexei is originally from Russia. He's been in the USA for 23 years and found agility, something for him and his dog to do.
Yeah, it's interesting. Alexei said that when he first got Midnight, he had no idea what agility was, knew nothing about the sport, chose a border collie simply because he was captivated by the beauty of the breed. And here they are running in finals.
Exciting for them to come on down from San Jose and wind up here in the finals. This back half of the course has gone smoothly for them. We can hear Midnight every once in a while mentioning how much fun he's having out there.
That's right. We will see another border collie, the fastest qualifier at 20 inches, a border collie named Howie. But we've got a Labrador Retriever first and then an All-American dog before we have our final dog competing at Preferred. So this lab is named Pilot, 5 years old, out of Long Beach.
And we've got a local Southern California team here. He just powered off that start line. Let's see how the rest of this course goes.
Hey, Carrie, how much fun is it being in Southern California? You're from Southern California. We're outside, beautiful day. We've got the mountains in the background. It truly is a picturesque setting for these championships.
And this dog is a master hunter, so it loves being outside. Yeah. This is exactly what this dog's looking for. And the dogs in this part of the country are very used to trialing outside, so this is normal for them, and this is what he's comfortable with, and it's showing on this run.
47.5 seconds is the time to beat. That means they've got to get home in under 10.
Mary Kate has done a beautiful job with Pilot on this course.
Gonna be close, 45.2. So we have a new leader with just 2 dogs still to run. Pilot and Mary Kay Pennington to the hot seat.
And we've got that typical lab enthusiasm up there on the hot seat.
Yeah. Our All-American dog is Judas, only 4 years old. The youngest dog we've seen competing at Preferred to reach the finals today.
And as we mentioned, the handlers get to make the decision.
Yeah.
And for this dog, this is the right place to be, and he is extremely competitive here. Otherwise, they would not have made it into the finals. Unfortunately, they missed that jump. Dog did not read the cue to take it. But they're going to go ahead and pick on up and keep going. As a lot of the judges will say to the handlers, the course is yours.
Yeah, enjoy it. You earned your spot here into the finals. Go have fun.
And our dogs don't know. You can see Judas, he is having a lovely time out there.
Yeah.
Oh, an extra jump just for fun. All right, I got it. We're back. And on through the finish.
And that sets the stage for our final qualifier in preferred. This is Howie, the Border Collie, being run by Amber McCune. We'll see Amber quite a bit coming up in the regular finals, but she's got a chance to pick up a preferred national championship with Howie.
Well, and Howie's one of those dogs I've had the pleasure of watching for many, many years, and he just certainly always has plenty of enthusiasm. I love watching him work with Amber. Look at me, he's just right there with him. Thought about the tunnel. You saw that little head bob, but nope, got right into the poles where Amber directed him.
Sniffed it, and that was about it. The time
Amber
to beat, 45.2 seconds. That's what Pilot was able to put down.
And Amber chose to do a front cross on that A-frame, which could be a little tricky, but her timing was perfect and exactly what Howie needed to make that turn.
They could stop and have a cup of coffee and still get in under 45.2 seconds. Wow! Howie and Amber McCune, national champions at 20 inches preferred.
Very exciting to see Howie pick up his first national championship.
You mentioned these two have been working together for a really long time, and how often we talk about in the sport of agility that partnership between the handler and the dog, and when you've done it as long as they have, and the talent between that dog and that handler, it can all come together into a championship run like that.
Yeah, and I know she is thrilled.
Yeah.
Because again, as you're noting, they've been together quite a long time as a handler-dog team. And this is the pinnacle for them.
Yes. Howie is going to earn those letters in front of the name, right? Something you and I talked about before, that once you're a national championship, once you win the national championship, that title is the most important thing that's going to appear before your registered name.
Once a national champion, always a national champion.
That's right. So we have 5 champions, the last being Howie the Border Collie here at Preferred. Back-to-back Border Collies winning titles today. Ego at 16 inches, Howie at 20 inches. Again, congratulations to Dazzle, the Australian cattle dog, winning at 12. Bet was our winner at 8 inches, and Kaladi, the American Eskimo dog, our first champion of the day. They're going to smooth out the course, and not too long from now, we'll have the finals of the regular division 5 classifications. We've been waiting all week for this, Carrie. So stay tuned. Finals of regular coming up in just a few minutes on AKC TV.
Guys, I moved that back already.
Back more.
Oh, okay. I mean, they are. No, that's fine. You move it wherever you want to. I just want to
So
let you know.
she said Remy
back a bunch already.
so it's Remedy. Remedy is the mom. And Remedy runs first. She only has a few dogs between her. I like this dog coming in. Yeah, you like to believe that. So, and of course, this is when we have the bid list. Glenn runs first, so we talk, you can talk about, with White coming up, exciting. Exactly. It's tough, but it's not because the people that are doing experience are coming over there. I don't want to jump on top of what you're saying, so I need to make sure that you're done.
Yeah, exactly. No, and you're good. I'm trying to say I'm away for the most part of my course. The only time I'm able to jump in is like the last couple obstacles, like I was saying.
Right.
They took the lead or anything.
Yeah, because you've got that kind of deal right there. So this is how a dog causes fear.
Yeah.
off bond?
Yes.
Okay.
Remedy was
That makes sense. I was wondering.
after that.
It seemed a little tight to me.
I was glad to. Yes.
Okay.
What seems like?
Well, remember I said there was like 2 dogs between, or 2 dogs?
Oh, right.
Yeah. I was like, wow, that's close.
You guys are great. Thank you. Appreciate keeping that. Yeah, for sure. You got it.
Because they were not sitting in the sun, but not have been as energetic.
Yeah, all right.
Hey, there's another dog.
Yeah, I think it's moved.
No. Well, I mean, it's hard for any animal, really. Yeah. But she's a very good handler. She's a great dog. Very good. She's one of those people I think you heard me say that, you know, has missed it by barely. Like, missed it by barely. You know? And it kind of seems like her win where, look, I got both this time. But one of the things she knows that I think you probably saw in the wild, she's originally from Texas. Both of these dogs started their training in Texas. So she knows that might be a bonus for them out here. And again, being Texas dogs, it probably is. She lives up in Washington, yeah. Oh, yeah. says don't listen to it.
I think this would be fun, more fun to
You know what, if you actually try, if you actually turn it and you just go, okay, if I try turning it, and maybe if it's more in my face, like you see it.
and Anthony. Listen, you know what time the grandkids need to eat, take a nap? What time Louie is on?
Well, in today's world, do it on the other time, so you can pull up a little video.
So I saw something the other day that every generation's had a blue dog. We had Blue's Clues. Louie, Blue's Clues, and we had Huckleberry Hound. Okay. Every movie Disney's ever made.
Okay, so let's hit the open at like 49 or 50 so we don't get it here.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Do you want to go 2 minutes on that clock?
2 minutes on that. So, yeah. No, they do that at every show. 6:30 they did better. Why not? They should run over.
Welcome to sunny Southern California and the breathtaking venue for the 2026 AKC National Agility Championship. Callie O'Donnell, pleased to be with you. Sitting next to Carrie DeYoung, former Director of Agility for the American Kennel Club. We're in Temecula, California at the Galway Downs Equestrian Center. Carrie, this truly is the hub of equestrian on the West Coast, and it has been a fantastic venue all week long for the best of the best in agility.
Yeah, we're very excited to be out here on the West Coast. It's been a great week of competition, and here we are, ready for the finals, and with a fabulous view to get to watch it also.
That's exactly right. We have 63 teams of handler and canine who have advanced through to the finals. We began the week with nearly 900 teams, and over the course of 3 qualifying rounds, the field has been whittled down to our 63 finalists divided among 5 height classifications. We'll begin with our smallest dogs, jumping at 8 inches. Carrie, we have 10 qualifiers through to finals. Now, this is a division that has historically been dominated by the Papillon. That breed is responsible for winning 80% of the 8-inch finals, and we do have 5 Papillons who have qualified through to the finals. But interesting, not the fastest qualifier. That's a Pembroke Welsh Corgi named Welly, who we will see run last.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a very exciting class to start with. I always love watching the 8-inch dogs. People think that they're small. They forget they're mighty.
That's right. We'd also like to point out that for the first time at the National Agility Championship, now in its 29th year, we have video assistance. And the VAR system, which stands for Video Assistant Review, will be checking all contact zones and the teeter as well. So our official, Mark Giles, is still going to call the action as he typically would, but near our broadcast position, we have the VAR system, and they will be checking those contacts, and we will be alerted if there is a change to a call made by Mark.
That is correct, and as you've noted, this is the first time it's been used at this event. It's been used at other events to get the system ready to go, and the judge is very excited about having the opportunity to use it. He was telling us about that just the other day. Judges want to be correct.
That's right. Our first dog into the arena at 8 inches is a Papillon. This is Hermes, 6 years old, handled by Jenny Larkin. 63 finalists. Dog number 1 is getting set at the starting line. Hermes has qualified through to the National Agility Championship 3 times, which is pretty impressive considering Hermes just recently turned 6 years old.
And here they are off onto the course over our first contact obstacle, and you've got to hit both the yellow on the upside and down as you're coming down, and he did that perfectly. They've made a nice turn to the weave poles. We'll see that's going to be a challenging spot for many dogs with the tunnel sitting there. Oh, found a different tunnel.
That's right. There are 3 tunnels out here. And of course, the dogs love running through tunnels more than anything else. And Mark Giles has strategically positioned them in places where they're going to catch the dog's eye when maybe they shouldn't.
And that one certainly got Hermes' attention. But you can see they went right back onto course, a little left from the handler, but she's ready to finish up this course. Still a great way to start this height.
A time of 54.9 seconds, but a mistake, and you'll have to run clean and earn 100 points to have an opportunity to win the championship. But for now, Hermes will go on to the hot seat as we introduce you to Nike, a Pembroke Welsh Corgi.
And Nike's being run by Sherry Jefferson, who is an AKC Agility judge, and Sherry knows she just got a refusal for that. The dog has to load on as they're coming up to it, can't run past, so they did receive a 5-point penalty. But you can see they're right back on course, trying to reconnect to get through here, and it looks like that worked because that was a really nice weave pole entry. Coming on around and up over the A-frame, make sure you get that bottom contact. Now through the tunnel and up over the dog walk where there's one last contact that has to be hit on the bottom of the dog walk.
Missed
and that didn't quite happen in this case.
Not the way they drew it up. Nike and Sherry are here from Washington, Pennsylvania. Sherry telling us they're excited to compete on the West Coast.
And I talked to her earlier today, and I know she was thrilled to be able to make it into the finals. It's always nice to make it up onto that hot seat, but even better is making it into the finals.
That's right. Next to the starting line is Moxie, a Papillon, and this is the dog that advanced out of the Challengers round this morning. So, Carrie, dogs that finished in the top 4 over 3 qualifying runs in any of those runs, but didn't qualify through to the finals, have an opportunity to compete the morning of finals in Challengers. Only one dog gets that final wild card spot this morning. It went to Moxie.
And we can certainly see why. Moxie was fast off that start line and is losing just no speed there.
Took the tunnel.
The tunnel, and we're going to talk about that one, I'm afraid, over and over again. But she got Moxie right back out on course. They have a 5-fault penalty. Our placements go down to 8th place, so they certainly have a chance still to have a very nice placement. And Jen's right back on track here. That back line through there was beautiful, and that's going to be a make it or break it spot, timing-wise, for many teams. You see the big smile on Jen's face. They've had a wonderful weekend.
39.1 seconds is a terrific time, and despite the one fault, that is good enough to put them onto the hot seat for now. And these are two teams that are used to standing at the top of the podium. They've done so many times. They competed on Team USA at a world event in the Netherlands, and for the moment, they are our leaders at 8 inches as we say hello to Raindrop, another Papillon.
And this is Raindrop's 4th national championship, so definitely veterans here at Nationals. And they've had a good start. Ooh, gave a quick glance at that tunnel, but Julie was able to get Raindrop's attention, and off they've continued on this course. Beautiful A-frame. Did you see her charge up the top of that? Just flew right over it. Now onto the dog walk. Coming down it again, nice and deep into that yellow zone, and that's what you want as a handler. That way the judge doesn't have to think, and they don't have to turn on the VAR system we talked about.
That's right.
Oh, an unfortunate off course. That is a 5-fault penalty. They're going to go ahead and finish up, and hopefully that puts them up in the ribbons.
And that's an obstacle. We talked about the siren call of the tunnels, but that's another one where expect to see dogs' eyes wander late in this course to what is the 5th obstacle, the panel jump.
Yeah, we saw that one in our earlier group with the preferred dogs. That panel jump proved to be more of a challenge than I believe some expected it to be.
Our 3rd consecutive Papillon, 4 in this breed in the first 5, but only 1 in the final 5. This is Kiwi. They're from Poway, California.
This is nice and close and to home for them. They're about 45 miles away, probably got to sleep in their own beds last night, and I'm sure that's helping them be ready for this course. Nice job on the weave poles. You can see there was no hesitation. The dog knew it was going to the poles. Coming up and over this A-frame, a nice blind cross on the A-frame from our handler.
And being from Southern California, certainly used to running outdoors, where this might be a new experience for some competitors from the East Coast.
Definitely, and I would expect this team has run at this venue a few times already. There's a lot of shows held here, so they're probably very comfortable out here, and that run showed it.
It is a clean run for Kiwi. So time on the hot seat is over for Moxie and Jen Conrad, but it was fun to see Jen celebrating that run from Michael Fitch and Kiwi.
It definitely was, and it's all about the camaraderie
Right.
out here. The handlers certainly love the opportunity to be with their dogs, but they love the chance to cheer on everybody else. And this is their chance to see people they may not see all year, or maybe they've never met before. And certainly when you have the same breed, you already have an automatic reason to be friends.
That's right. Now we see a new breed. This is a miniature pincher. It's Indy, handled by Vanessa Manzi.
And Indy looked like he was shot off the start line. What a start. And you can see him, he's continuing to pick up speed through this course.
Oh, through the tunnel.
Had the bobble at the weave poles. I thought they were going to go in, and unfortunately, that tunnel was a little too strong. Right on over the A-frame, really well done. You can see our small dogs have no trouble on that.
As a handler sitting on the sidelines waiting for your turn to go and seeing so many dogs make that mistake and take the tunnel, what could you adjust to make sure you don't make that same error?
Usually what a handler does is just keeps committing to what they decided to do, knowing that that will work for their dog. You don't want to change your game plan.
So the 5 faults for Indy. We have just one clean run so far halfway through the competition here at 8 inches. That was a score of 100 laid down by Kiwi.
Now what can happen, you asked about like that weave pole section, is then you over-focus on it and you over-handle it. So
Right.
that can happen to you as you start watching that happen. But usually the rule is you stick with your plan because you know that works.
Let's introduce you to a Swedish Valhund. This is Saga, 9 years old, from Georgia.
And this is a breed that would love to be running this in snow, but instead we've got this lovely surface instead, which has worked well for them this weekend. Came on over that teeter, through that handling sequence.
Oh,
Ooh,
saved it!
Wow, way to go, Madison. Was able to keep Saga's head on that.
So at what point does the judge say it's an off course and put the hand in the air for the fault?
Not until a foot touches the tunnel. Now, unfortunately, it looks like they missed the down of the A-frame, and the judge has called that, so great save, but they do have the faults for the contact now.
The time of 40.8 seconds would have been 5 seconds faster than Kiwi on the hot seat. But again, a penalty of any kind disqualifies you from having a chance to win, assuming there is a team on the hot seat with 100 points. So the missed contact will push Saga down the leaderboard. And next to the starting line, we have Bright, the Shetland sheepdog, handled by Glenn Bitliff, and we will see Glenn's wife, Susan Bitliff, competing at 12 inches. Glenn is out there with Bright. Bright's mom, Minute, is being run by Susan.
It looks like they got a call on the teeter. The teeter's a difficult obstacle for the small dogs. So is the tunnel today.
That's right.
For all the dogs, not just the small. The reason the teeter is more difficult, though, is because they're not as heavy and they have to wait for it to tip. And that can be challenging because the dog wants to take off and run. We can see that with Bright. This is a fast dog. Glenn's got, you know, really a great teammate out there, and Bright just wants to go, not wait.
Glenn is a 2-time finalist here at Nationals. The last time he competed at Nationals was back in 2014. It was with Bright's grandfather, Linus. Glenn told me earlier today that he actually wore the shirt from the 2014 National Finals, 2014 Finals during practice as a way to try and get some good mojo for the championship this time around. They made it to finals, which is a wonderful accomplishment. And now on the sidelines, they can cheer on his wife, Susan, and Minute when they run at 12 inches.
Well, I love that story. And let no one say the agility competitors are not superstitious.
That's right.
I have my lucky socks too for today.
You're wearing them right now, huh?
Yes.
Down to our final 2 qualifiers at 8 inches. Remember, they run in reverse order. So these were the top 2 qualifiers through 3 qualifying rounds. This is Digger, a Papillon, still waiting in the wings, who's a Pembroke Welsh Corgi. Only 1 out of 8 dogs so far has been clean. It starts by having to be mistake-free, and again, Carrie, we see a dog take the tunnel prematurely.
That's just heartbreaking. This is such a great team, and you can tell watching them run, they've been a finalist both at the 2005 AKC Nationals and the AKC Premier Cup. They are a top team, but you know, some days the course is not with you. And again, with dogs this fast, all it takes is a split second.
Yeah. 40 seconds, again, 5 seconds faster than Kiwi, but doesn't matter because it's a score of 95 because of the off course. So here we go. Our fastest qualifier was Welly. The Pembroke Welsh Corgi needs to be perfect, a score of 100 points, and needs to go at a time that would be enough to displace Kiwi from the hot seat.
Coming to the line. A lot of handlers have their own routines that they use every single time they bring that dog to the line. And you can see Peter pointing out where they're going to be going. And Willie's, yeah, I know, just let me go. I got it. But that's why you want to make sure you've got the dog's attention. And that certainly worked on that opening for them. Really well done.
Teeter.
Let's see how these poles go for them. Ooh. Spectacular, absolutely.
Look at the tunnel.
That's what they need to do to win this championship. Peter did a very well done blind cross. Coming up over the dog walk, let's make sure we get that contact. Nice and deep through there.
Well ahead of the pace set by Kiwi. They just need to be clean over the final 3 obstacles. The time's going to be good enough. This is the pinnacle of the sport.
I love this. And did you see Welly talking that whole final line? Just talking about, I think Welly was saying, run faster. Excellent, congratulations.
10 full seconds. They were the best through qualifying. Peter Worth and Welly are national champions.
This is a very athletic breed. They work very well herding. They were bred to herd cattle. So this agility, of course, is nothing when you're a cattle dog.
Gary, it was a virtually flawless run. Sometimes you'll see a dog bobble, spin, not pick up a fault, but go a little bit deviating from the perfect line. That wasn't the case at all with Willie. It seemed like every single paw was where it was supposed to be.
Never put a paw wrong.
Not once. And we have our first champion of the day, Welly, the Pembroke Welsh Corgi, a winner at 8 inches. The bar is going up to 12 inches. Stay with us when we return to the 2026 AKC National Agility Championship on AKC TV.
That's very fun.
This keeps going in and out, but it's back for now.
Yeah. Good judge. Oh, wow.
crowned our first champion, Welly, the Pembroke Welsh Corgi, at 8 inches. The bar has moved up to 12 inches. Carrie, we have 11 finalists who will be taking to the dirt surface here at the Galway Downs. We mentioned it's the equestrian hub of the West Coast, and this surface is perfect for outdoor running.
This surface has run very well. It stays nice and cool. This is actually an artificial surface. There's no actual dirt mixed into it. And that artificial surface has worked well for the dogs. And we've seen that, and we'll see it as we watch the dogs get bigger. We're not seeing a lot of digging into it.
That's
and
right.
most importantly, it has stayed cool, which has been critical the last few days. And Kim and Abby have had a beautiful start to this course. Let's see if they can continue on through there. There's many places on this course where the handlers are looking to flatten their dog's line to pick up some speed. It's not just about how fast the dog just runs, it is how fast the dog runs on the line that the handler is setting for. Oh, unfortunately, Abby found the off course there.
That's the second dog we've seen today go off course, taking the 5th obstacle, that panel jump, for the 2nd time. So they incurred the penalty, a time of 49 seconds. Will still go onto the hot seat for now with a score of 95 points, with 10 competitors still to compete at 12 inches, including Sanji, a Shetland sheepdog, 7 years old, handled by Kathy Bean. This team is from Fair Oaks, California.
With being in California, it's a very large state, so even though she's California, she still had to drive about 8 hours to get down here.
Right.
But it looks like Sanji and Catherine have had a solid start. And that's what you're hoping for. You want to have that dog's attention from the very first obstacle. As they come on into these weave poles. Beautiful.
And Carrie, this is a breed that dominates at 12 inches. We have 6 Shelties qualified through to the finals this year.
Yeah, this is a breed that really enjoys working with their handlers. They're very smart also, so it makes them lots of fun to train, but they're also very much athletes. That looks like they are coming through this finish. Let's watch out for that number 5.
Oh,
Good
look at
job. Nice work on the handler's part. Well run.
So a clean run. We only saw 2 clean runs at 8 inches out of 10. Our second dog up at 12 inches is able to put down a perfect run of 100 points and stops the clock at 50.3 seconds. So that is the benchmark for every team to follow, including Nimble. This is an All-American dog that came out of the Challenger round. Cynthia Horner is the handler, a 3-time national champion. In fact, she won with Nimble in 2023. Watch them go.
Nimble is also the overall winner at Westminster Kennel Club a couple of years ago. An unfortunate error. You can see Cynthia was standing back to get that entry. She didn't want to crowd Nimble going into there, and Nimble just misread where she needed to be. But if we watch the rest of this run, we will see why they've been national champions.
I'm assuming Cynthia assumed once Nimble got into the weaves, they'd be okay, but Nimble still popped out early.
That's correct.
Look at the time, despite the hiccup with the weaves, 37 seconds, they were flying. The fault at the weave poles is going to ruin any chance they had at taking home the championship bar.
Good try, Missy.
This is Wizard, another of the Shelties, 4 years old, handled by Beth Bond. Wizard is Beth's 4th agility partner.
They came all the way from Pennsylvania. So let's see if this goes well for them. They've obviously had a great weekend to make it here into the finals. Coming up over the teeter, held on to make sure they got the yellow zone and didn't leave the teeter until the teeter hit the ground. That's where it gets a little tricky.
This is a team that hasn't made it onto the podium at Nationals before, but looking for their first championship.
You can see them picking up speed on this course. Each handler plans how they want to manage this, and we'll see handlers manage different sections with their dogs that maybe we haven't seen somebody else do. So that was also what makes it exciting to watch.
Manage the final couple obstacles clean, and that is a score of 100 points, and we have a new leader. It's a Wizard and Beth Bond taking over occupancy onto the hot seat.
Definitely fun watching Wizard. Definitely kept picking up speed while they were running. Sometimes as a handler that can be a little frightening because you've got one gear the dog is in and then they switch on you.
Right. Brittany Schazler has 2 dogs that have qualified into the finals at 12 inches. Her first is Remedy.
And Brittany now lives in Washington, but she was originally from Texas, and this is where Remedy started her training. So she thinks starting her training in Texas has been a real plus for being out here this weekend. I was just going to comment on what a beautiful, efficient line that was. Unfortunately, the line also showed the dog the tunnel very well, and that's where Remedy went. But again, Brittany has another dog that she'll be bringing out here, so she's going to keep running this course and stay focused on how it's working for her.
That's a great point. In fact, her next dog was the fastest qualifier, so it will be the final dog to run at 12 inches. That's vice versa. And interesting to point out, Remedy is vice versa's mom.
Well, I'm sure Remedy will be ringside cheering for her baby girl next. Now, just because she ran Remedy the way she did does not mean she's got the same game plan.
Yeah.
Each dog has different needs, and the handlers will adjust to that.
We have another Sheltie to run next. This is Shimmy, Lady handler. This team is from Foster City, California. Shimmy points out that, or excuse me, Catherine points out Shimmy is a sable and white Shetland sheepdog.
And this is their 3rd time at a National Agility Championship, so they're old hands at that. Let's see how this finals run goes for them. They're off to a solid start. Look at that nice straight line she took through there.
Another victim
and
of the tunnel.
Straight line to the tunnel. But now they're back on course, and this team is showing why they've been so successful here.
So, Carrie, you and I had a chance to talk to Mark Giles, who is the judge of our finals course, and he designed this finals course, and he said, I wanted to do something unique, something that would be challenging but still fun to run, something I'd want to run if I was a competitor. And he also pointed out that he expected that tunnel to be one of the trickiest spots on the course.
He absolutely did. Between the tunnel's location and the weave poles being pushed back off of the way the dog would enter, or recessed as we would call them, that adds additional challenge to that.
So still only 2 dogs have run clean at 12 inches. And of course that includes our leader, Wizard, the Sheltie with Beth Bond. A Parson Russell Terrier. Head to the starting line next. This is Rush. Diana Yeris, the handler. They're from Phoenix.
I got a chance to talk with her briefly, and she was talking about how Rush has really, really kind of hit the prime with the 2 of them running together. They've represented the United States a couple of times abroad and will be going again this summer with the AKC senior team. Unfortunately, that weave pole entry, Rush went in a couple of poles after she should have entered. But they're going to continue on this course. Diana reset. So they just have the penalty for that. Looks like they've picked one up on the bottom of the A-frame also.
And so that spot on the course that has been so challenging from jump number 7 into the weaves is tricky for 2 reasons, because one, you've got the tunnel which just beckons, and it is such a pull for the dogs, but also that weave entry is difficult too.
The dogs don't initially see it because of the way that they're approaching to it. They've got to spot the poles. And that's one where, as a handler, you're telling the dog to weave so they know that it's there.
Yeah.
And hopefully they catch that before that tunnel has a chance to lure them on over.
The Shetland Sheepdog is the 3rd most popular breed as far as representation here at the finals. We mentioned over 900 dogs competing this week. The most popular dog, the Border Collie, 152. 91 All-American dogs, 83 Shelties. including minutes. And this is Susan Bitliff. We saw her husband Glenn compete earlier with Bright. Susan is a 5-time finalist.
Yes, she is. And her and Minute are also will be competing this summer along with Diana in Germany for the senior team. Unfortunate weave pole entry issue. And again, we talked about that as the handlers have to try not to get into their own heads as they're watching other people have problems there. So was that overhandled? Was there miscommunication? From this spot, I can't quite tell. But again, this is a solid team. They're always lots of fun to watch. And I know we're going to see them back in this ring many more times.
We have 3 qualifiers left running at 12 inches. So they were the fastest through 3 qualifying rounds, 2 poodles, and then a Shetland sheepdog. This is Mermaid with partner Caroline King. A team out of Texas. 73 teams representing Texas at the finals this year. No surprise, California the most represented this year with 229.
Oops, unfortunately that poodle ear got a little caught in the collar there. You can see most of our handlers are using a slip collar on their dogs. It comes off very easily, so it makes it nice and quick. And off they go over that first obstacles. Being real careful on that seesaw, and they certainly got it. Let's see what happens on this line. Did well coming through there.
Nope, missed it.
Now you could see where Carolyn really called her hard coming over there. The dog responded to that and was not able to find the weave pole entry. But watching this team, you know why they're in the finals. They've got a lot of speed out there. They work extremely well together. They've come through some of these difficult sections. Right on to the finish. Well, I know making it to the finals certainly helped make their trip from Texas worthwhile.
That's right. We've got 2 left. Both will take their shot to try and knock Wizard from the hot seat, but they've got to survive that most treacherous spot of our finals course, the transition from obstacle 7 into the weaves at obstacle 8. Another poodle, and this is Sky, handled by Han Yu. The registered name for Sky, Have No Fear.
And it's wonderful to see this team out here. They're always a top team. As you can see, Sky is extremely fast. Han has no room for miscommunication. Sky was extremely ill about a year ago, so to see this dog out here running for everybody is just amazing. You saw her fly over the top of that A-frame, literally fly the top. Here she comes down the dog walk. She got just deep enough, it looks like, into the yellow zone. Let's see if Han can keep her head coming through this turn.
Mistake-free so far. Need to be under 42 seconds. Check out that time.
Oh my goodness.
33.2. We've got a new leader with just 1 dog still to run.
I know Han's heart is just bursting at that. What a fun team to watch.
Sky was soaring.
No room for error as a handler on that course.
That's right, 33.2 by 9 seconds. We have a new leader and 1 dog left to challenge. This is Vice Versa. Remember, we saw Vice Versa's mom, Remedy, run earlier with the same handler, Brittany Shazler, who, as you pointed out, getting to run this course earlier, probably an advantage.
And this is another dog that she initially started the training in Texas, so she thinks it's definitely been an advantage for the weekend here now they're living in Washington.
They're gonna have to push to get under 33 seconds, and it's not gonna matter a fault on the teeter.
Yep, you've got to wait till that board hits the ground, and when you're pushing for speed, which is what Brittany had to do, she had no room to lay back on this run. She just had to drive as soon as she left that line. And Vice Versa just said, I'm going then. That's what we're going to do. I can feel you pushing me. And unfortunately, that got them the error.
Only 3 teams have run clean, scores of 100 points, so a fast time and a score at 95 is still going to place incredibly high at 12 inches. But the victory lap belongs to Sky. And Han Yu, this team from Glenview, Illinois, they're national champions. Han Yu, truly one of the best and deserving of an honor like this.
Yes, it's very exciting to see them out there. As I mentioned, Sky was very, very ill last year. So to see them out here just competing was, I know, just a blessing for Han, and she is thrilled to be out there. But they have also been extremely competitive on the international stage and at many other national competitions.
So we have 2 champions already, Welly the Pembroke Welsh Corgi and now Sky the Poodle. Still 3 titles to hand out as the bar continues to go up. Next at 16 inches, we've got 14 finalists, and we'll bring you each of their runs as we continue next from Temecula, California on AKC TV.
I can hold anything. That's what I'm here for. Hold the water.
Welcome back to Galway Downs, the equestrian center here in Temecula, California. Gorgeous venue for the 29th annual AKC National Agility Championship. The bar has been set at 16 inches, and Carrie, we have 14 finalists. The number of finalists imbalanced from class to class because it is a percentage depending on how many qualifiers we have and participants at nationals. Our largest group will be 20 inches with 20 finalists. The 16-inch height group will see a few Australian cattle dogs. We've got a few Shetland sheepdogs, a couple of border collies, and some breeds we've yet to see today.
Yeah, I love this mix in this class this weekend. It's going to be lots of fun to see so many different breeds in here. So we've got our All-American dog who's waiting to come in. An All-American dog is a mixed breed dog. AKC breed that they mark for them as All-American.
Telly will navigate a course that has 20 obstacles, a 212-yard path for the dogs to run, and if he can maneuver it cleanly, then he will certainly place in this group. We've seen how difficult this course has been for our first 2 classes, so Telly and Haley Berman are off and running.
And this is their second year attending the NAC. I'm sure they're very excited to be in the finals, and this is close to home. They're from Los Angeles. Very nice job on those weave poles. You see there was a little bit of talking from Tully, but wasn't a problem to still get those weave poles correct. Coming on into the tunnel, see what happens as they're coming across this dog walk. Remember, they've got to get something in that yellow zone. You can see she slowed Tully down to make sure that they got it. It's a nice segment through here. Tully still wants to talk about how this course is running. Very well done.
Tully is Haley's novice A dog, which means this is the first dog that Haley has ever run agility with, and Carrie's just proof that anybody can get started in this sport, and you might find yourself out here competing at nationals.
That's what makes dog sports so much fun.
That's right.
You know, you're sitting at home with your dog, and you're like, you know, my dog can jump. My dog can do that.
Right. Give it a shot. Next up is Snap, another Sheltie. They're from Albuquerque, handled by Terry Moyers. Their second visit to the AKC National Agility Championship.
Look at that nice sit at the start line. As a handler, you want a dog that will wait patiently until you get in position. You can see that Teresa let out very far. And that sit was critical for the handler to be able to get in position. Well done on the seesaw. That line was very well handled.
Started to turn away from the tunnel and said, no, wait, actually, I would like to do that, please.
Looked like the handler made a little turn towards the tunnel at that point, looking for the dog, and that gave the dog the information it thought it needed for the tunnel.
That's such a great observation, Kiri, because the gestures that the handlers provide, the information they provide to their dog sometimes is so subtle, the dog can pick up on a twitch.
It definitely can, and a lot of times your voice is saying one thing and your body's saying another. And the dog typically will default to what your body is doing versus what you are saying. I can't tell you how many times the trainer said to me, Carrie, your feet are pointing the wrong way.
Right. But I'm saying tunnel, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. All right, now to the starting gate, we have B, a Sheltie handled by Jen Crank, one of the all-time greats in the sport of agility. Trying to become just the third 5-time champion. She's qualified through to the finals with the dog now 22 years in a row, which is just a remarkable statistic, but they had to come through the challenger round today.
She did it the hard way.
Yes.
But here they are, and her and B are a fabulous team. They've done so much together. They already have a National Agility Championship to their credit, so let's see if they can do a second one.
The tunnel got him.
That is a heartbreaker for them.
They survived the challenger round by 0.5 seconds this morning, just to give you an idea of how competitive it was to give themselves a chance in the finals. But they weren't the first and won't be the last to go down on that obstacle.
They will not be. But you can see on the rest of that course why they made it into the finals and how they got out of that challengers round. He's extremely fast. Jen's a very good handler, and stuff happens.
That's right. We have another All-American dog, 91 of them represented at the Nationals this year. This is Swiper, 7 years old, with Deneen Fox.
And Deneen's another Californian who I know was quite pleased not to have to drive all the way over to Georgia or somewhere. So that's why the Nationals move around the country. Is trying to give a little balance so the same handlers don't have to travel all the time. There's a good solid start there. Come on over that teeter, and now into the section that the handlers are going to need to really pay attention. They want to flatten the line. They want to get into those poles. And that was very well done as a team into that. This is very much a team sport. You have to work together.
That time it was the middle tunnel that sent a dog off course.
Which has been more unusual.
Yeah.
But again, once the dog has set their head to something, sometimes it is just very difficult to convince them that's not it. And tunnels, as you've said over and over, quite alluring.
The dogs love them. The registered name for Swiper is What the What, and I'm
That may be what Deneen was saying
exactly
during this run. She's a very experienced handler, a very good trainer. And you can see her still quite happy with her dog. They've had a great weekend out here.
Our first dog to run at 16 inches was Tully, the All-American dog, and so far Tully is the only dog that ran clean, so Tully continues to sit on the hot seat. This is Little B, handled by Ellen Rowe, an Australian cattle dog out of New Mexico.
And this was certainly a breed that was bred to work cattle, as their name implies, so this can be sometimes a tough breed to train because they're very smart and they tend to have a lot of their own ideas.
There's an idea.
Unfortunately, yes,
The wrong
that may
one.
not be when you want it to show up. But again, a very smart breed, and this was a good environment for this dog to compete in. There's lots of fun watching the two of them work together. Yeah, I'm beginning to think that tunnel just doesn't count anymore. Let's watch everything else because the rest of this has been very nice working watching them work together. And even there where there was a little break in communication,
Yeah.
still right back together, and Ellen and Lil just finishes beautifully.
We get to see Australian cattle dogs run back to back. Next into the arena is Rowan, an 11-year-old Australian cattle dog with Stephen Carrazzo from here in California. Stephen and his wife Nicole rescued Rowan when she was just 6 months old. She's one of 13 cattle dogs that Stephen and Nicole have trained to compete in agility since 1995.
Yeah, they've been doing this for 30 years. Stephen and his wife were certainly one of the founding couples here in agility in Southern California, so it's fabulous to see them out here. Unfortunately, missed that weave pole entry. You have to enter between poles 1 and 2. Well, maybe we'll just give the tunnel a shot anyways. I know that Steve is just thrilled to be out here with his dog. You always want the clean run. You always want to be on the podium, but at the same time, you're just having such a good time out there with your dog. Let's see if they come back together on this finish area. That was nice and smooth through there.
Another fault there for taking an extra leap over the panel jump.
It looks like Rowan's looking around. Are there treats? Are there snacks? Because I was a good boy.
Red Rowan, the registered name for that Australian cattle dog. We'll have a miniature American Shepherd next. This is Kira. 5 years old from Wichita, Kansas, back for her second year at Nationals with Shelly Cox.
Yeah, it's always nice when you've been to the Nationals at least once before. Even if this is a different environment than what they competed in before, they still know what the event is like.
Yeah.
And I think as a handler and for your dog, I think that's very helpful. A lot of people bring their dogs out, especially the first year, just because they want to get them acclimated to a national environment.
Dismount off the teeter looked awfully close.
But held on. Remember, they can't leave till the board hits the ground. Stop to talk with her about that entry. Are you sure? Yes, I am.
This vexing spot on the course takes down another team.
Really is. Oh, now there's one that we haven't seen.
That's true.
Yet. Okay, you get extra points for creativity on that. As a handler at this point, you really just switch your mode into, let's just enjoy the last moments we have together at this national championship.
And they do. Time 45 seconds, but several
Kira
faults.
took the tire one more time for good measure. I'm not quite done with the Nationals. Congratulations to both of them for making it into the final round.
So our first dog to run in this classification, 16 inches, is the only dog that has been mistake-free. And therefore, Tully continues to sit atop the hot seat with Haley Berman.
But we've talked about it plenty of times. Speed is great. Speed kills.
Yeah, that's right.
In this case, you've got to be clean. You've got to be fast.
So Mark Giles told us, our judge, he said, with speed comes danger. This is Squid, a border collie, and we know how fast this breed can be.
Yes, and they took a little bit bigger arc on that turn. Oh, unfortunate. She came out of the weave poles early. It was such a great entry.
Yeah.
If you looked at that arc she made coming into the poles, I think she did that to set the dog up on a better line and keep that tunnel out of the way for her, and it worked. Unfortunately, the dog then read that it needed to come out of the poles quicker. But the rest of this is going very smoothly for them. Love watching teams work together. Maybe one more. There was a situation we talked about if the dog just touches the tunnel.
Yeah.
She didn't have to go out the other end. She turned around in the tunnel and came back out.
They lost the plot a bit at the end of that run.
But look at the big hug that Squid's getting.
So, Carrie, we have 6 dogs left to run at 16 inches. All of them, based on their qualifying times, have the ability to get under the time set by Tully. It's a problem, though, to try and downshift and say, hey, let's go a little bit slower to prioritize being clean, because sometimes that can trip up your dog.
It certainly can, especially when you have a powerful dog. And Prize is one of those dogs who's coming to the line right now.
Yep.
Prize always runs full out. Kate wants to be clean, but at the same time, she's got a dog with a lot of speed here. So you're right, we're beginning to look at the balance. Clean versus the speed. You know, do I back off one just a little? But Prize isn't going to let her do that.
No.
I don't expect. Look at her feet tapping on this start line.
Kate Moreau is a 3-time national champion. It's been 10 years since her last title. That came with Smart back in 2016. Can she get back to the top of the podium? No, undone at the very start.
And the tunnel once again.
Yeah.
And you can see Prize as Prize is doing her loop. She's extremely fast. And as a handler, again, you want that fast, but sometimes it doesn't go quite where you want it to go.
So, Carrie, we've only seen one dog run clean at 16 inches, but to put in perspective how challenging this finals course is, 70% of the dogs that qualified through to the finals were mistake-free over 3 qualifying runs. So to go perfect, and then see all of these faults, the degree of difficulty goes way up when you make it to finals.
It definitely does. And that's what the judges also are looking at as they're designing the course. They
Right.
want a course which becomes the ultimate challenge of the weekend. I think Mark found the sweet spot
Yes,
here.
he did. So Tully is still on the hot seat. And we're down to our final 5 qualifiers at 16 inches. This is a Kazin. This is Echo, 10 years old from Malibu. Now, Echo is qualified to nationals 6 years in a row, but this is their first time actually making it to the start line.
So I'm sure that Ton is thrilled to be out here. This is her breed. She has had Case Hans forever, and they're always very good dogs, very well trained. As we're seeing with Echo. Echo is also a tracking champion and is also a breed champion. Ooh, did not touch anything. Lost some time there, but right on into the weave pulls.
Most recently, this team started scent work. They've acquired their novice and advanced titles. Not done yet, as Todd pulls Echo back toward the 13th obstacle.
Coming on down this dog walk. Certainly got that very clearly. As a judge, actually, you enjoy seeing that. You don't have to think about what was going on, and we didn't have to pull in the VAR system to check it.
A chance to move into second place. Yeah! And the crowd erupting at a score of 100 points.
Well, you can see Echo checking back to make sure that's exactly what Ton wanted. And again, Ton's a very long-time competitor here in the Southern California area, so I know the crowd was thrilled to see that for her.
12 seconds slower than Tully, but only the second dog to run clean at 16 inches. Now we get into our fastest qualifiers, and that includes a Manchester Terrier. This is Kipsy, 9 years old. This team is from Lee Summit, Missouri.
Now this is a breed that definitely can have a lot of speed to them. You can see her revving her up here on the on the start area. Each handler deals with that a bit differently on their start. Some handlers are all about the zen moment with their dog. On top of that, other people are all about, let's go, go, I gotta get you going. Want to let you know this is what we're doing right now. And it looks like for Inez and Kipsy, that is her preferred way to start. Also notice she's starting her very far back from this first jump. She's got a nice stay on her there. The handler gets to choose where they put the dog as long as it's behind the first obstacle. Nice start and a nice lead out from her handler. She's coming through here. Let's see how they straighten that line out. Beautiful. That's one of the nicest weave pull entry we've seen so far. And notice how she got in there to guarantee that jump. Had she continued moving instead of putting her hand there to indicate the jump, I don't think Kipsy would have made it. So as a handler, she was very alert.
Missed the down contact on the dog walk.
That's a heartbreaker for them.
So a 5-point deduction, and now make it 5 more, working on a score of 90.
You see her take her back. They're going to finish. They've earned their right to be out on this nationals course. Let's just get it all done. Come on, Kipsy.
A promising run that unravels over the back half of the course.
Kipsy's probably getting some big hugs and maybe an In-N-Out burger on the way home.
Carrie, improbably, Tully, the All-American dog, is still on the hot seat. Our first dog to run at 16 inches hasn't budged.
And I can tell you, Haley is having a pinch me moment.
Yes.
When you are the first dog to run and there's this many in a class, that is one of the toughest places to be. Especially when you know you've got so many good teams still right behind you.
And that includes Luke, an Icelandic sheepdog.
Luke's had a nice smooth start. That was a nice change of side that the handler did there, which helped set up those poles for Luke. It was very clear for him where he needed to be. So he's coming up and over this A-frame, nice and deep into the yellow zone. He's gonna get to this dog walk. Now remember, at this point, as you mentioned, the handlers are working to go clean. They want some speed, but they're working to go clean.
And that's what we've got right now. The time to beat is 42.2 seconds. It's going to be desperately close. Got it! A new dog on top, and it's Luke.
Very well done on their part. That is a tough spot also then for the handler coming to the line, because you've got to decide what your game plan is going to be when you've got the situation like they had. Now our last two dogs are going to be looking at clean, but starting to push for the speed again.
Penultimate runner at 16 inches, Iron Man, an All-American dog, affectionately known as Stark. Of course, the alter ego of Iron Man, Tony Stark. Iron Man is 6 years old. This is their second time competing at Nationals. Iron Man is a two-time USA European Open team member.
And Iron Man is extremely fast. So again, Carol's going to have to, manage this a bit to get through this course. Let's see how they're doing. Look at that start line. Oh my goodness. Beautiful. Nice job on the teeter. Just
ran around the jump.
Too far. Beautiful weave pull entry, but they did get a fault out there on that other jump. But let's watch this team. This dog is something to behold when he's out on a course.
Bar down at the 11th obstacle, and another bar down. That's the first dog that we've seen clip a bar at the double jump.
Well, at this point, it's just all about the fun on this course, and Iron Man definitely had a very good time out here.
They already have a title this year. They won the Westminster Championship earlier in 2026, so it's been a great season for Iron Man. They won't win Nationals. That title is going to go to either Luke, the Icelandic sheepdog, or our top qualifier at 16 inches, a Pumi by the name of Boo.
Boo's handler is an extremely experienced handler with her Pumi. She's been on multiple international teams. I expect that she has her plan ready to go.
The time of Luke was 41.4. You expect this team can go under 40 without too much trouble. The question is, can they keep it clean?
Absolutely, but she also knows what the challenges have been at this point. So fighting for the clean is important. This dog has the ground speed. Boo's sneaking up there a little bit. Very nice through the teeter. Let's see how Christine handles this. Oh!
The panel jump got him.
It did, and that 5 faults is going to take them out of running for the championship. Chris is certainly going to keep pushing through this run. You know what, at this point, you're going to take it for the experience. Let's just show what we can do as a team. And that's exactly what she's doing. She's just having a good time on the rest of this course. If I ever had a chance, that's exactly what I would choose.
Look at that time, an eye-popping 30.3. However, to score 90 points, and that means the championship goes to Luke, the Icelandic sheepdog.
And I believe that's the first Icelandic sheepdog to ever win the 16-inch class. Very exciting historical moment, and they were certainly a lot of fun to watch out there as a team.
They'll take their victory lap And congratulations, by the way, to Tully, our All-American dog, to finish second place.
Definitely. I can't imagine, again, sitting there for so long
Right.
watching. Now, what I love watching, Luke, as he was coming back, you could see him smiling. He's got a lot of smiles happening. The dog knows this was good. He was good. His tail's wagging.
Carrie, like you said earlier, when you're a national champion, you're a national champion for life. The title belongs to Luke and Leslie. Congratulations to that team. We're going to take a quick break. Still 2 more classes to go. 20 dogs at 20 inches when we come back.
Yes, yes, Joe. Tell you where to stand.
I'll come over and stand.
But looking away.
Okay, getting ready for the 20-inch finals class here at beautiful Relive Downs.
We're back from Galway down to the equestrian hub of the West Coast in sight of the 2026 AKC National Agility Championship, the 29th annual National Championship. Carrie, we're on to the 20-inch classification, our largest group of the day. We have 20 finalists, more than a half of them are Border Collies, but our first dog of the group is Solar, an Australian Shepherd, 6 years old, with Robin Detman.
And it looks like they started out running together. It's the handler's choice how they want to manage their start. And you can see that Robin does some nice distance work with this dog. Unfortunately, the dog found the tunnel. We've talked about that over the other heights. That has definitely been a challenging section of this course.
And one of the reasons why is that the dogs just love running through the tunnel.
They really do, and of course it is a big open spot. It's bright yellow,
Right.
and the weave poles are pushed back, and they're more difficult for the dog to see. Just one more. We paid to come here, Mom. Just let's do one more on the way out.
So the mission was 3 tunnels, they did 5. Can't do that. So it is a few faults in the run for Solar.
Well, who says you can't? Solar just did.
Solar just did, that's right.
And look how happy Solar is.
This is the first ever invite for Solar to Nationals, first time this team had qualified, and that's worth pointing out too, Carrie, that this is something that these teams have been working over the course of a year to earn enough points to have the opportunity to run here at Nationals.
Correct. The dogs need to be working at the top level at the American Kennel Club, and they have to earn certain qualifications to be allowed to enter.
Mako is a Labrador Retriever from Long Beach, California.
Nice, nice, nice. That weave pole entry was just spot on. Little miscommunication there.
Yeah,
she was able to get him back.
Just getting a toe into the down contact on the A-frame, but now we have our first fault of the run.
And this is a dog, again, covers a lot of ground, very fast, and because it's a bigger dog, this dog covers a lot of ground. She doesn't have a lot of room for making up any miscommunications.
Yeah.
But you can see why they made it into the finals. They certainly deserve to be here.
Good enough for the hot seat for now. But this is a team that certainly has its sights set on the hot seat. One of the superstars of the sport is handler Amber McCune, a 3-time national champion and a champion already today in the preferred class. She's running with Typo, her border collie, that she won this championship with back in 2023.
And they've earned additional championships too. They are also an international sweepstakes champion, which is agility, and a breed champion. And look at Amber's handling style. It is going to change a little bit with each dog that she's running, but she tends to work further away from her dogs. She works extremely hard on her communication with them, and it's certainly serving her well on this. Amber's going to power down this dog walk just like she expects Typo to. And that was extremely well run. She's working hard to flatten this line and bring Typo right in, so that panel's never a thought.
It's been a magnificent run, and they finish it clean. 32.1. Welcome to the hot seat, Typo and Amber McCune. Will this time stand up? But we're going to check video assistant review to see if perhaps Typo left the teeter a little bit early. We're also checking for a contact on the dog walk. So there were no faults issued by our judge, Mark Giles, but our new VAR system being used for the first time at the National Agility Championship is going to determine whether or not that run truly was clean.
Now you can see with a dog with this speed, the human eye can only do so much, and that's
Right.
why this system is a big plus as it's come into being. Now the other thing that we'll see too, you can see Amber swapping out her dog. Unfortunately, it looks like there was a call now on the teeter. Expect that would mean that Typo had left a little early before the board hit the ground. But not sure since I'm not looking at it also, but that is part of the system.
By the way, Amber's going to run again in this class. Shelby Cobb, another border collie that she also qualified through to the finals. So it looks like, and we got confirmation that the contact on the dog walk was good, but there was the early dismount on the teeter. So that's going to take Typo likely out of contention for first place.
It also happened so quickly. Typo's a very large dog. It is possible that Typo did hit one of the contacts, because remember, with the teeter, they have to hit the upside and the downside. And sometimes with these bigger dogs, as they're stretching over the bottom of the contact, they may not make it.
Now, Typo will stay on the hot seat with 95 points. It was just a single fault, and through 3 dogs, that's still the best score. Now, it's very likely one of the next 17 dogs is going to run clean. That's why that mistake likely cost Typo a chance at the title. But for now, Typo stays on the hot seat, not with Amber McCune. We see her walk away because, again, she's got another dog to run about 7-8 dogs from now.
Yeah, Amber's mom, Celeste, is out there now with Typo, telling Typo he's an amazing boy no matter what. I think he already knows that,
I think so.
Though.
I mentioned Amber's a 3-time national champion. It was with Typo in 2023. Twice she won the championship with Kaboom. Mentioned we have more than half of the finalists at 20 inches or border collies, 11 of the 20 in fact. So we have a run of 3 in a row after Typo. We're going to see Finley next and then Poppy.
Finley's waiting patiently for that signal to start. Good dog waiting like that while his handler gets out past that second obstacle so she can do a directed turn to number 3. That was very well handled on both their parts. Went on into this line a little wide there, but she's able to tighten this back down. And beautiful job into those poles.
That was another exit off of the teeter that was bang bang as far as did Finley actually wait until it hit the ground, and it is being reviewed again. So they're going to take a look at the teeter regardless of how that one's adjudicated. We already have now 5 faults for taking that final obstacle early.
Yes, but you can see they're still running on the course because, again, we've got placements all the way down to 8th place, so you can certainly still place with an error. And Finley certainly earned her right to be out there as part of this finalist group.
And Carrie, you and I spoke with Mark Giles the other day, and we talked about the VAR system, and he said, hey, I'm all for it, and we just got confirmation that Finley did leave early, so an additional penalty there. He said, at the end of the day, we just want to get it right. So he's not concerned about VAR overturning a call that he makes in live action.
That is correct. Again, the judges want to be right. We talked about that earlier, too. Now, in some cases, we may not know exactly what the error is. We just know that there was a fault on that obstacle, because there's multiple ways you can fault the teeter. That was very well managed. On through that line. Let's see if they can get into those poles. Beautiful, beautiful job by that handler and dog team.
It's Poppy out there with Michael Gully.
Yeah. Poppy is definitely connected. And you can see that with this run. It's been nice and smooth. What a cross he did there, very bold. But it worked.
Overruns the 19th of 20 obstacles. Thought we had our first clean run at 20 inches.
I did too, and then Poppy got lost behind Michael and didn't get the direction she needed, and he couldn't find her quickly enough to get them right back to the correct spot. But what a great day. They had won the challengers round to come in.
The first dog that we've seen miss that jump. Again, it's an obstacle that the dog has to take 3 times, so it's certainly possible too. The dog figures, I've already jumped over that twice.
It definitely is when you're repeating obstacles. All right, our next team. Again, you can see she's chosen to set up her dog, maybe a little bit different than others.
Dex has a lot to say.
This handler started out behind her dog, so she's probably used to pushing this dog through the course a bit more, and it's working well for them. Beautiful. Great communication into the poles.
That was textbook.
Really was. Look at that turn to that tunnel. No wasted motion there. Coming down the dog walk. unfortunately, the dogs went off the side. They do need to come down and hit that yellow zone. Dex doesn't care. Dex had a great time out here. Dex is already looking around. Treats, toys, what do you have for me? I was the best boy.
A misstep on the dog walk, and sometimes it's hard on TV to really have the advantage of just how narrow that dog walk is, and so often we see dogs make it look easy, but their mistake by Dex, and it cost him what would have been the first clean run at 20 inches. Dex does move into second place. So Typo continues to sit on the hot seat. This is Vision, a Border Collie with Christian Chester.
All the way from Palmer, Alaska. I'm sure they were happy to leave 40 below. Oh my goodness, that weave pull entry. Wow. That's what everyone wants out there on their weave pull entries. That's how you do it if you're looking to be a national champion.
Yeah.
This run is really coming together.
This team from Alaska is putting on a show. Got to be clean through 2 more, and it is a refusal at 19.
So much perfect out there.
Yeah.
There's just so much going on.
Mark Giles, when he designed this course, he said, I want a fast finish that's still going to challenge the dogs and the handlers. Sometimes you can see a straight line to the finish where it's going to be pure speed, but there's nothing really tricky about it. This really is that combination of both.
It really is. And when you first look at it, it looks deceptively simple.
Yeah,
but
that's true.
As soon as you slow down and give a look at, you realize as the handler's moving, exactly as happened with a few of our dogs, it has pulled the dog's line. They want to either rear cross or front cross the dog before they hit that pink jump, that second to last one, to set them up on a nice angle for the tire, and that's what's been causing it.
Yep.
What a run up until that point. That's how he expected to see this course run, I know.
We're in the middle of a stretch of 5 straight Border Collies. This is Kyber, 8 years old, from Imperial, Missouri. Jeffrey Meader, the handler. By the way, Vision and Kristen from Alaska currently into second place by 0.3 of a second. Their time was better than Dex. But our top 3 teams at the moment all have 95 points. That means 1 fault. Still looking for our first clean run at 20 inches.
And Jeff and Kuiper are a very seasoned team. They work extremely well together. Let's see how they get through this part here. Nice. And you saw Jeff chose to stay back a ways and just not move until the dog made that weave pull entry. He wasn't going to risk it. And that's so key as a handler, knowing when to run and knowing when not to.
No blemishes yet, and fast. Can they get number 19? They do. Now just got to stop the clock. The name of the game is clean, and they're the first to do it at 20 inches.
I know he is absolutely thrilled to have made it through that course, and certainly just to be at finals. Again, the honor of being in finals is huge, and I don't think people necessarily recognize that if you're outside this sport, but to make finals, it's a big deal.
That's right.
But then you put down a run like that, it just became a bigger deal.
And not only were they clean, but a time of 32 and change, that has a chance to stand up.
It does, and it's going to make that drive home to Missouri a lot quicker.
It would. Still have 12 teams to run at 20 inches. We mentioned this, our largest field, 20 finalists. And this is Brink, another Border Collie.
Nice smooth start. Great weave pull entry. Now you see this handler's working further away from their dog. And there are certain areas here, if you can trust your dog in some of these spots, you're going to be better set up as a handler to make it to the next challenge. That dog walk looked really solid. Beautiful handling through that
section. 31.9. Just as we said, 32 could hold up. Brink and Caitlin go underneath it.
The communication there never broke. They ran as one. They certainly ran as a team.
crowd letting Caitlin hear it. It's her spot on the hot seat. The question is, for how long? Another Border Collie to the starting gate. This is Arai, 5 years old. And as Nanette Nance tells us, Arai is the life of the party.
I have no doubt watching the way he started this course. Oh, there they go. Got those weave poles. Completely ignored that tunnel. He did have to arc past it, but he went right to those poles. He knew his job.
Yeah.
And look at this. Just keep running. I'm there with you. And look at the distance she's put on that turn. That's what's really going to make the difference here.
Over the back half of the course, 32.5. Made up a lot of ground over the last 6 or 7 obstacles. Not quite enough to catch Brink, but good enough to move into second place.
Nanette was pushing. She was doing everything she could through that back section.
So 3 straight teams have gone clean.
Well, and very early in this group, because of the time that's been put up, this group now has to think about things differently than our last height. They've got to really push for the speed besides being on top of the game and making it accurate.
Now to the second half of our lineup at 20 inches. Our 11th of 20 dogs is Koza, another Border Collie, 8 years old from Texas.
Jody's a very experienced handler. She's had a lot of international experience as well as AKC experience at national championships.
Bar down.
It's an unfortunate. I just want to put it back for them.
I know. But, you know, Jody Lolich is going to keep it in perspective, and here's why as Koza finishes nicely. Koza had a health scare back in 2024. It was incredibly scary. Of course, as we see here, Koza pulled through just fine, but Jody said, that changed my life. It put everything into perspective. I love this dog to the moon and back.
Yeah, these handlers have come here with their best friends. They're thrilled to be doing this. They're taking them home. They'll be snuggling on the couches tonight.
So after 5 straight Border Collies, we'll mix it up. A Chesapeake Bay Retriever. This is Deshka, 10 years old. Another team that qualified from the contingent that made its way here from Alaska. This team from Anchorage.
That nice smooth start there. See how Linda handles this line. You'll see Linda's handling is going to be a little bit different. Chesapeake Bay Retriever is not going to turn like a Border Collie.
Yeah.
She's got to look at that as a handler, the best way to line her dog up for things. He's not as bendy. Certainly can have the ground speed, but just isn't going to flex over some obstacles like the Border Collies will.
They took a moment there to conference before going over the 11th obstacle, but got it right, so this is a clean run still.
I was talking again to her earlier, and she is just so excited to be out here running the final, showcasing this breed. And Deshka definitely had a great time out on that course. And a wagging tail, big smile. A lot of dogs, as soon as you put the leash on, it's almost like they can't believe it's over.
Right.
And then there are some, if you don't get the leash on quickly enough, they may go back out and do some more obstacles for you.
This All-American dog is named Vic. 5-year-old rescue. Was found as a stray out in Bakersfield. Went through 3 different homes by the age of 9 months, but finally found his forever home with Marion Horsig at the age of 9 months and found his forever calling in agility.
He's done well through that opening area into the weave poles. Oh. He touched it. Unfortunately. Oh no. Unfortunately, Marion tripped, but she's right back up. She's not going to let that slow her down. There they go, back on course. As a handler at this point, you just want to celebrate the time with your dog out here on the national championship course. Remember, the dogs aren't keeping score. Vic's just having a great time out here.
Treats and pets as soon as the run is over.
Again, looks like Marian's fine. Our director of agility checked in with her to make sure that she was all right.
So back to the starting line for the second time in this group. We have Amber McCune. I told you that she won this event just 3 years ago with Typo, who currently sits in 5th place. Typo's time, by the way, 32.1, would be 0.2 of a second behind that of Brink. So either way, Brink would be in the lead. But what can Amber do this time out there with Shelby Cobra?
Let's see how they get through this section. Shelby unfortunately entered between poles number 2 and 3 instead of 1 and 2. So that's going to take Shelby out. Yeah, I was going to say, though it is only 5 faults, she could still make it up for speed, but they did get a fault coming down the A-frame.
Amber, though, is going to have one more shot. She'll be back at 24 inches running with motive.
Yes, she will. She's always fun to watch running with her dogs. And you can see how positive she is with them. Her dogs give her everything when they're out there on the course.
6 dogs left to compete at 20 inches, including a Nova Scotia duck tolling retriever named Calypso. Vandy Eshe, the handler from Hillsboro, Oregon.
Or as we just call them, tollers.
That's
They're
right.
duck dogs. It's quite a mouthful for such a talented breed. They excel in anything you want to do with them. They are a breed with a lot of energy. People think they're just cute, smaller golden retrievers. They've got a high energy level. And again, they're extremely smart. Unfortunately, they did get a call at that tunnel.
Yeah, and Vandy was telling me earlier just how much Calypso loves tunnels when not running through them, loves to dig underneath them.
Oh, no.
And it was the tunnel that was her undoing.
So as a handler, when you have a dog that loves tunnels, this is a bit of a nightmare for you when you see this course.
Right.
Like, this is not what I was hoping for. Calypso's smiling coming through that tire, though.
5 dogs to go, and this is somewhat unusual, Carrie. We've got back-to-back competitors named Gus. First, we've got a golden retriever, and then an all-American dog.
And our first Gus lives very close to the show here. They're from Escondido, California, so about 35 miles away. This is a local show for them, but it's got a whole different feel than a local event
That's
does.
right.
You know, with the crowds here and all of the things that look different, it feels different, it looks different. So even though this is home, it's not quite home. It'd be like coming home and someone's repainted your house and moved all your furniture.
And a few hundred people in the living room
Yes.
cheering you on. Gus is short for go for the gusto, and here they go.
There he goes. Oh, he looked at the poles coming from that direction. Let's see if he gets a chance to. Oh, no, come on, Gus. Perfect. Way to go, buddy.
Did a 180 to get back on track.
Nice job with the handler, too, sticking with him on that.
Yeah.
She didn't give up. She worked to make sure that she had his attention again. As a handler, sometimes it's tough to know how long to hang on to that and when to, you know, when to release what you're doing as far as trying to get the dog's attention. There they go.
Passed that jump, but did not pick up the refusal or
Gus
the
does
off
through here the
course.
finish.
So
Nice.
goodbye, Gus.
Big cheer from the crowd.
Time of 47 seconds. It's Brink, a Border Collie on the hot seat, 31.998 by 2/1000ths of a second. They got under that 32-second barrier, so that's the time to beat. 4 dogs left, including our second Gus, an all-American dog.
All the way from Wyoming.
These two have been competing in agility together for 5 years. Liz Clemens saying that Gus is known for his consistency, powerful long stride, and unwavering desire to please his mom.
And I just love the commitment on Liz. She set Gus up on that line and she ran out past the first obstacle. She knows that Gus will wait for her, but she wants to get out there and get going on this course, and this course is working for them.
Yeah.
When you start a course with that type of confidence, look at right on into this tunnel. Let's see how this dog walk goes. Don't let that bottom be a problem. Look good. Look good coming through there. On over the jump. Let's hold on to his attention. Yes,
Oh, can she save it? No. He stopped. Should I jump? Should I not? He jumped.
Oh my goodness. The rest of that run was just lovely.
Yeah.
Exactly what they needed to do to be looking at a national championship. But that's all it takes.
That's right.
You know, it's a game of seconds. It's a game of inches like other sports.
Yeah. Only 4 of the 17 dogs who have run at 20 inches have been clean, which means if you can go mistake-free, you still have a shot at the top 5 regardless of your time. But these last 3 should be fast. All Border Collies. And oh, by the way, the last dog to run still waiting in the wings is Zoom Zoom, the defending champion. But first, we have Thor, 7 years old, with Cassidy Sowerman.
Thor had a lovely start. Was well set up on this course and was connected with the handler as soon as he left.
Thor takes the tunnel.
There goes that tunnel. I think when the handler goes back and looks, she'll see that she opened up herself a bit to that tunnel. He unfortunately has knocked the bar also. Looked like he lost a little attention going over that. And he went ahead and jumped off the top of the dog walk, which certainly if the dog is uncomfortable, you would expect to see them do. He seems to have lost some focus after he came off the start line.
You said it earlier, with speed
You know what?
comes danger.
Well, and you still always made it to the finals. There's that part of it.
All right, our final 2 runners at 20 inches. Entitled, next to the starting line, a Border Collie, 6 years old from Oregon. They got to be clean, and they've got to get under 31.99.
Entitled is ready to go. Did you see him come down that ramp? Oh, hang on there, buddy. There you go. Perfect. Great start to this run. Definitely needs to stay connected with this dog to make everything happen because this dog is so quick. As a handler, you don't have room to adjust when you've got a dog with this type of speed. So Sydney really needs to stay connected with her dog, and it is working for them.
Just a magical run so far. Can they finish it? Need to get under 31.99. No, 0.2 of a second away. That's now 4 dogs all within a half a second for first place.
It's amazing. That run was so good, yet wasn't quite there.
Yep.
It was amazing.
So here we go, our defending champions at 20 inches. Zoom Zoom is the Border Collie, Andy Winther is the handler. They got to be clean. They got to be 31.99 to go back to back.
And there goes Zoom Zoom right off the line. Beautiful line through there for Andy. Let's see what he does through this section. He's got to really keep Zoom Zoom on track. Sure did, right on into those bones.
Does.
Look how far ahead he is. He's already at the bottom of that A-frame, waiting there to direct him to the next spot. Our judge has called a fault on the A-frame.
Missed that contact on the back side of the A-frame. Will wipe away their chance of going back to back. Look at this time. It would have been fast enough by a half a second, but one mistake by an inch, if that.
And it looks like we're doing a does stand.
So bring the Border Collie, handled by Caitlin Rohr. They win the national.
They had a spectacular run, and what they did pushed the rest of the handlers to have to drive that course, and that is what happened, I believe, with Andy and Zoom Zoom. They had no room not to go as fast as they could.
31.998 is our 20-inch champion.
Brink is 4 years old, lives in Loma, Colorado, one of 5 border collies in the home with Caitlin and Russell Rohr. And they're bringing back the championship. Caitlin telling us Brink's truly a special dog with a big heart and even bigger personality, and they've got the biggest ribbon of all. What an outstanding run, and what a competitive group at 20 inches. We've got one class still to run, our largest dogs. The bar's going all the way to the top. 8 dogs running at 24 inches when we come back to the 2026 National Agility Championship on AKC TV.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you so much.
Again, congratulations to Caitlin Rohr and Brink, our 20-inch champion. Going on to our big dogs, I'll take a couple minutes here to groom their dirt. We have 8 24-inch dogs. 8 24-inch dogs.
I know, my camera drifted all over the place. I'm trying to turn around.
We're set for the finale from Temecula, California here at Galway Downs, as the curtain will fall on the 2026 AKC National Agility Championship after our final classification. Our largest dogs competing at 24 inches. Gary, we have 8 finalists, and we have 8 different breeds that made it into the finals.
I just love that. And personally, this is my favorite height because my dogs have always been 24-inch dogs.
Yep.
So I'm excited to be wrapping up with this height.
And we've got a couple of Belgian breeds here in the finals for you.
We do. Look at that. Well, this really is a fun lineup, like you said. 8 dogs, 8 different breeds. So we're going to see a variety of running styles out here. And I expect that means we'll see a variety of handling styles also.
Only 3 of the 8 finalists went clean through all 3 qualifying rounds. So the fastest dog in qualifying is the dog that we'll see run 4th from last, and that's Motive, the Border Collie with Amber McCune. Amber had 2 chances at a 4th title in 20 inches. Wasn't able to get down a clean run. We'll find out if she can do it at 24 inches.
This is Rebecca Williams from Sacramento, California.
First dog up is Mila, a Doberman Pinscher.
And she's had a lovely start through here. We're talking about how this height will run a little bit different. Watching Mila, certainly a great example as you watch her stretch over the jumps as she goes over them. Coming on up over that. Avery got it.
Spins the wrong way, but no penalty for that.
None at that point. She wasn't on her way to the next obstacle yet. Making sure she catches that dog walk. Did a lovely job with it. We'll see how they get through this line here. Well, unfortunately, that's going to get them the refusal.
Yeah.
It is only 5 faults, as we noted.
And a shrug of the shoulders from Rebecca Williams as if to say,
But a
what
big
happened there?
Hug anyways.
Yeah, of course.
Usually in a situation like that, the first thing the handler knows is there was a miscommunication,
Yeah.
and that lays on you as the handler.
Yeah, yeah. And the handlers will be the first to tell you that too. It's
Absolutely.
on me,
All
not
me.
the dog.
All me.
Yep. Seven dogs to run at 24 inches. For now, Mila will go to the hot seat because you never know. You've seen how difficult it is to put down a clean run, and that's what Kai, the Labrador Retriever, is going to try to do now.
Oh, Kai, no. Oh, looked like he was getting ready to make that turn to the poles and just went ahead and decided it was tunnel time. Beautiful over that.
Yeah,
apron.
caught a
Did you
lot
see
of
him
air
fly
there.
over the top? Oh, unfortunately, he did knock down the bar. So he's got a few faults at this point. Again, the dogs don't know, so Kai's having a great time. Obstacles keep showing up, and he's going to keep doing them with great glee. Look at him going through that tire. And look at Caitlin just kind of laughing at him.
Yeah, yeah. She said he's so fun to work with, even more fun to have as my bestie. Third time they've been to nationals together.
Well, that's the thing when you've got a partner such as your dog in this case. I mean, as a handler, you feel bad that you let them down, but you don't want to let the dog know that.
Yeah.
Especially when you know it was your fault. You're just like, you know what, you're still the best dog, and I'm still a handler that needs a little work.
This is our dog that earned the wild card entry into the 24-inch class, going through the Challenger round this morning. Rowan, a Golden Retriever. Typically the dog that comes out of Challengers is going to have plenty of speed.
Very nice off the start line, no hesitation there. She did a lovely cross setter, get her dog in position for the next jumps. Oh,
touched it.
He did. She tried hard to
Yep.
redirect him, but at that point he was already committed. The rest of this run is going well for them. He's a beautiful jumping dog. It's fun watching him work this course.
And he still has a chance to take over the lead. Just the one fault, easy under 47 seconds. And that will put Rowan on the hot seat.
Well, you're going to have to walk out after this one.
I believe he
There
received
was
a
a
fault where
second
that
mistake.
bar was
Yep,
down.
yep.
That's correct.
So a score of 90. So it was the fastest time so far, 24 inches. But 90, not enough to displace the 95 points put up by Mila, the Doberman Pinscher.
We're up, we're going to step in after
Our last 5 dogs of the day. And our first Belgian, this is a Belgian Malinois, it's Stitch.
There you go, Stitch. Made a nice turn there. Let's see if she can get that turn over to the poles, and no. poles have been elusive
Yeah.
for this group a
Stacy
little
was
bit.
almost reaching for Stitch's collar to
Yeah.
keep him out of the tunnel.
I'm sure she would like to have been able to say, no, it's right here. Let me just guide
Yeah.
you in there.
Right.
But again, this breed is extremely athletic, as many know from seeing the Belgian Malinois do so many other things.
Yep. Did pick up a second fault there on the refusal in obstacle 19. So our first runner of the day at 24 inches, Mila, the Doberman Pinscher, has sweated out the 3 dogs that have come since, but now this is our fastest qualifier. Motive, the Border Collie handled by Amber McCune, the 3-time national champion. And really, Carrie, if you look at the times through qualifying, there is not another dog at 24 inches that can touch Motive. The question is, can Motive be clean?
That's exactly it. And of course, that's what's in Amber's mind, is she's taking off the line there. And you can see when she set up Motive, she set up Motive a little bit different than the other dogs. As I noted before, each dog is going to be handled differently. Beautiful job through there, coming up through over the A-frame. They certainly got that bottom coming down. So coming on through the dog walk, Amber's.
But one mistake might not, oh, and there's the second one.
Well, and unfortunately, Motive did come off the dog walk, coming down the bottom.
Right.
And then did not go back to complete it also, so it was going to become a 0.
Time of 37 seconds, like we said. Unlikely that's going to be challenged at 24 inches. And Motive was spectacular over the first half of the course, but things unraveled down the stretch, starting with the dog walk. So there the Doberman sits on the hot seat, enjoying a sip of water, wondering if somehow, some way, there's going to be a fault for the next 3 dogs. Sage is a Chesapeake Bay Retriever.
This is Cindy Willis and her
All right, nice start for our Chesapeake Bay Retriever. Sage and Cindy
Bar down.
were working very well together, and just bars happen. Let's see how they finish working through this course. Nice job on the A-frame.
Cindy telling us that Sage's coat color is officially listed as dead grass. She said if you've ever seen her lounging in the backyard in the wintertime, you understand why the breed registry went with this extremely specific and accurate description. We have a second fault there, and the second fault will confirm that Mila stays on the hot seat. So one of these next 2 dogs, Carrie, is going to have to run clean if we're going to have a national champion at 24 inches.
I'm going to try not to be too biased, because our next dog to the line is the Belgian Travern, Creed. I had a chance to watch Creed run at the Belgian Travern National Specialty up in Red Lodge, Montana last year. So I'm excited to see them here and hope it goes well.
Just got to be clean to move on to the hot seat. Easier said than done.
He's got that teeter, nice and solid. Coming through that line that's been a little tricky. Oh.
Walked right past the
she was
entry
working
to the
hard
weaves.
to pull him to the weaves, and he just overcorrected and went right on in to the 3rd and 4th poles. So they do have the 5 faults, but since they completed them, they are still on track. Coming down this dog walk, got it. And through this line here, don't let that panel trick you. Beautiful. He's checking back to make sure, but it didn't happen at a point where you get a refusal. So the rest of that run went very well for them.
first dog to run at 24 inches, hasn't moved from the hot seat. Isla hanging out there, 95 points at a time of 47.8, and this is our final dog of the day, our top qualifier at 24 inches, Cosmo the Vizsla. Sam Chu knows all they've got to do is navigate 20 obstacles cleanly, and they will be national champions.
And Vizslas can be an extremely fast breed, so we'll see what Sam's got to work with as they come off the line here. Needs to be clean and needs a good time out here. But at this point, I know he's really focusing on clean.
Yeah.
Cosmo's just focusing on the treats right now before they go out there. Look at his tail. So I'm not sure why we're hanging around. We should be going out to do something. Sometimes that can be one of the toughest parts for dogs, is waiting to go into the ring. They're dressed up, they're ready to go, and nothing's happening yet.
Here we go. The final run of the day. Will it be a championship run? Want to make sure they get the start right.
Off goes Cosmo. They chose to start together. So let's see how Sam manages that through the course. Worked well up through the teeter. He's got to tighten up that line, get a good approach into those poles. Really well
They're
done.
good so far.
Perfect.
And now on to the back half of the course.
And he's got to gauge that clean versus time, but really a lot of emphasis on clean on this course at this point.
All they've got to do is get through the final 4 obstacles clean, and they are national champions.
Come on, Cosmo.
It doesn't get any better than this. Cosmo, a walk-off win, the final run of the day.
I think Sam's having a pinch me moment there. And Cosmo's just excited to get to do this again. Congratulations to this team.
The Doberman Pinscher held on for second place, our first runner at 24 inches. But they were best through qualifying, and they are the last one standing. Sam Chu and Cosmo the Vizsla, national champions. They will get the glory, they will get the championship bar.
And I think I see a great dinner in Cosmo's future.
That's right. Carrie, the first time in the 29-year history of this event that the Nationals came to the state of California and were held outdoors, your overall impressions?
I think things have gone extremely well. There were certainly challenges earlier in the week due to the weather, but everyone worked through it. The dogs were well cared for, and you can see that as they've made it into the finals, they were still ready to run.
Yeah.
And you know, it was very exciting to be outside. It's just a different feeling, and heard that from a lot of exhibitors, especially the ones from parts of the country where they never had the opportunity to run outside. Whereas here in California and a lot of other Western states, most of our shows are still outside, definitely in California. So we're excited that it was here.
Yeah, absolutely. So much still to look forward to throughout 2026. The Premier Cup, the Invitational in Orlando in December. And of course, we can already start to look ahead to the 30th National Agility Championship in 2027. But for now, that will wrap things up for us from Temecula, California. Congratulations to all 10 champions, both the 5 we just had in the regular division and the 5 from the preferred classes earlier today. For Carrie DeYoung and our entire AKC TV crew, I'm Kelly O'Donnell saying so long from Southern California and the AKC National Agility Championship.
do 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 do.